Hello and welcome to another Lucky Hit podcast.
We're back. We didn't give up. We didn't. We haven't stopped.
No.
We just had to. We were a bit busy, so sorry about missing a week.
We have missed a week and we have broken the cycle, which is a big
it was 17 weeks in a row, or 18 in the case of the. Was the pilot one the week before we started? Or?
A couple of weeks.
Okay, yeah. Well, we don't. That one. So yeah, 17 weeks, and we kind of. I was too busy animating, and Phil's on some cool thingy, so he can't be with us at the moment. Well, he can't be with us today because of the buses.
The buses
it's Sunday in when we're recording in
the middle of nowhere.
Yeah. So yeah.
Yeah, that's a shame. Well, we're down a Phil.
We're down a Phil.
We're down a Phil once again, which is a shame. It's a big shame.
That's all right, because we've actually got 4 people with us today.
Ooh, we have some new people, some guests.
People.
I'm Murray Curry, and I am joined by
The Gagger Man,
CherryTerrier, and fivecmprince.
fivecmprince, even though she's a girl.
yeah.
Yeah, we need to introduce the new peoples.
In a way, I guess.
No, you want to say?
Well, I'm CherryTerrier, and I'm a Rayman fan, like big, so bad, so bad. I got Rayman Legends twice.
Oh yeah, you bought it on Steam yesterday,
Yeah.
didn't you?
Oh,
it was
brilliant.
half price. That's right. I'm probably going to end up.
And
buying
I'm
that
still
twice
not
as
done
well.
with the PS3 version yet because of the servers being crap.
Oh yeah, Ubisoft
Off to a
servers.
great start.
And
me?
fivecmprince.
You in the corner there.
Yeah.
You-
Obviously, hello and stuff. I've never done this before.
So,
Perhaps I should be playing more games than I actually do. I buy lots of games, play half of them, and sort of put them all back
that's
on
all
the
right.
shelf.
We all do that.
Oh.
I don't even play half of them.
I suppose I quite like sort of strategy games like Disgaea, Dungeon Keeper, that kind of stuff. Minecraft, obviously, everybody likes Minecraft, really.
Some more than others.
Yeah, so that's what I do. I should play more games, and I don't.
You will have seen these two in a couple of videos in the past. Last year's Eurogamer stuff, for example.
yeah.
So it's not like they've never ever been in Lucky Hit before.
Again, with the Rayman thing, I cosplay Rayman girls, so...
Yeah, so you've probably seen CherryTerrier a few times. And
That's great.
So yeah, so we
got some new people. They're going to be telling us what they've been playing very soon. In the meantime, let's kick off with a track.
Yeah, we got something kind of special, which actually leads into news today. So
Oh,
it's okay. Right, we're back.
We are back.
And that song was a bit of a... It's actually a bit news related, actually, in terms of... I don't know, just news. Just a random bit of interesting history has come up involving Sonic 3, and that's what that was actually a mix of. There's a song by a band called the Jetzons, but it's like... It's Jetzons, but with a Z.
Yeah.
And there was this song that was made in 1982...
82.
By this band, but it was never released until 2009. It was like re-released by the record label with a bunch of other songs of theirs that was unreleased. The keyboard player of this band was Brad Buxter. Is that how it's pronounced?
Buxter.
That's it. Yeah, I'm no good at pronouncing things. So this was a guy that actually composed for Sonic 3, and as you probably could tell from that mashup, it's identical to Ice Cap. Basically.
That's right,
that
same
song.
key and everything.
And what makes this news is even though it's been online since 2009, it hasn't really been noticed by anyone in like the Sonic community until just recently. Like someone just brought it up on Sonic Retro and it's just sort of exploded from there.
Yeah.
It's been sitting on the internet for like 4 years.
And like there were comments on the YouTube video saying it'd already been in like 2 like American programs as well.
Yeah, that too.
Oh,
yeah,
wow.
It's actually appeared in the background of programs, so yeah.
And it just hasn't been picked up yet.
Yeah, so it just finally got discovered in a way, and it's kind of bringing up all this stuff again about how Michael Jackson was supposedly involved with Sonic 3 and apparently left the project because he didn't like the sound of the Mega Drive. It wasn't good enough for what he wanted. And there's all these rumours that his songs are still in there. And one of the composers that was in Sonic 3 that worked with Michael Jackson did confirm that the credits music is definitely, credits music of Sonic 3, not Sonic and Knuckles, was actually composed with Michael Jackson.
That's right, yeah.
Which
I mean, it's really obvious.
pretty obvious because, like, Stranger in Moscow is practically the same song, and it came out after Sonic 3 by like 3 years, or two or 3 years, I think. It was like 96, I think, Stranger in Moscow came out.
Yeah.
So that's pretty much the only song in the soundtrack that's kind of confirmed. But what this is kind of proven is because a lot of people thought Ice Cap sounded like another Michael Jackson song but faster, but now it turns out it's this, and it's
there's no mistake in that.
Yeah, if you look up the song on its own, you'll just hear it sounds pretty much identical. It's just got like a slightly, it's not even a slightly different melody, is it? It's just the lyrics over the top. Yeah. So
I think the thing that amazes me is just like the origins of the song were like just over a decade before the game came out.
Exactly, yeah.
And that's quite impressive.
Yeah, it's just been sort of like sitting in storage for years. And
yeah.
I think what must have happened, because apparently when this is all just rumour because no one really knows exactly what happened, because I think there's a load of legal issues with the game, and that's why they've only ever released emulated versions of it. That's why they've never like remixed much of the music. That's why they've never done like a full-on port. That's why a Taxman port of Sonic 3 and Sonic & Knuckles might be a bit hard. Yeah. And that's also why it pretty much confirms why the Ice Cap music along with a load of other songs were changed in the PC version. The old PC version, Sonic & Knuckles Collection. Yeah. They replaced quite a few of the songs with like new compositions. So,
okay.
Yeah, so that's another thing that clued everyone in, that them songs must have some kind of like legal holes. But basically what they reckon is some people reckon that when Michael Jackson left, he took the songs with him.
Right.
Some people think that, some people think they're still in there because there's like them samples as well that kind of sound Michael Jackson-ish, like the mid-boss music and all that kind of stuff. All that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But even some of that stuff recently, people were saying they might not actually be Michael Jackson things at all. Or they might actually be sampled from like Run DMC and the other things. So it's to be honest, the sampling on Sonic 3 is so low quality, it's kind of hard to tell anyway. The only sample that is definitely taken from a Michael Jackson song is in Carnival Night. There's this really low frequency, like cruddy sounding sample of Jam.
Yeah.
It's not actually Michael Jackson's voice, it's the rapper that was in that song, the song Jam. It's just like, Jam! It's just like... I never noticed it until someone pointed it out like a few years back. I was like, oh my god, it actually has a sample from a Michael Jackson song in it. So again, that doesn't really confirm that he worked on it. That just might mean he left and then they were like, quick, we need to make some songs to replace them. Let's just sample one of them. And then it sounds Michael Jackson-ish. And in the case of that Jetzons one, because Brad Buxter was a composer on Sonic 3, not Sonic & Knuckles, just Sonic 3, that probably means he had this song lying around because it wasn't released until recently, a few years ago.
Yeah.
He must have just been sitting on he must have had like the sheet music for it or something and just went, okay, we'll just chuck this in his ice cap. It kind of suits. So, yeah.
It does, yeah.
Amazing, kind of, like, looking back at to be honest, this game's probably got one of the most interesting histories when it comes to soundtracks, because there's so much that's not known, because they've probably got like loads of legal reasons they can't say anything about it. So it kind of, it's all up in the air. But that's like the first bit of like, ever since the whole Stranger in Moscow kind of confirmation, that's pretty much the first big piece of evidence of the history of the soundtrack, really.
Yeah. Very interesting stuff. And the song sounds fantastic, so by all means check it out, because the version we showed you...
that was a mashup. I'll have to mention who that was by, actually. It's a YouTube user called Joe's MAPR, Joe's Mapper.
Jose or something like that?
No, Joe's Mapper or something. I don't know. He's got like a I don't know. It was all spelt with like capitals and lower cases in and out of it. So that was, I think, the best mix of it I could find, because obviously as soon as this came out, everyone was mashing it up, and some of them were just like, they just literally took both songs and stuck them together to see how they lined up, and it was a bit, it worked, but it was a bit messy in terms of like clarity. But this version, he just used certain instruments from the Mega Drive version, so it worked. That was like the best mix of it I could find. So that was cool.
Excellent.
I need a drink. We've got a bit of a
horse, aren't you?
We've got a bit of Metal Gear Solid 5 news. Well, mainly there was a PlayStation 4 launched in America the other day, I think Thursday.
Yeah.
I think it was like Friday, but Thursday night.
Yeah.
And they had like this midnight launch party on Spike TV in America, and it was all live streamed. And they were making a really big deal. They were like, Sony were actually saying, "Oh yeah, there's got to be some game reveals, blah blah blah." It was like 11 o'clock at night in America. So over here it was 4 a.m.
Yeah.
And there was all these rumours on the internet, because there's this new launch trailer for the PlayStation 4. It's just got like all the characters in the background, and there's like Ryu in a taxi and all these like references. And at one point there's this road sign that shows a silhouette of Crash Bandicoot, followed by an arrow pointing up, and then another sign of of a like an orange diamond, which is actually like a proper road sign, but it kind of resembles the Sony Computer Entertainment logo. So everyone's looking at that and thinking, is that supposed to mean something like Crash, arrow, Sony? Is that Crash is coming back to Sony? It could be a hint. And what was even better, there was a bin underneath Crash. So it's like they're dragging him out of the bin because he has pretty much been in the bin for years. They haven't even done a Crash game for years. I think the last one was Mind Over Mutant or something like that. It was like I can't even remember. We made it Activision or something. But yeah, it's just been like passed around to all different companies, and there's been loads of like Crash Bandicoot games that were like cancelled. Like a few that were there was going to be like an open world one on the DS, and someone found a video of it. It looked really good. But again, they've every time they've tried to make a new Crash game, it's been like dropped.
That is.
So hopefully that's a sign that hopefully it's not just there for the sake of it. Hopefully it actually means something, and they might eventually. So yeah, there was that, and then there was these other rumours about maybe Media Molecule, who made Tearaway and Little Big Planet, might be collaborating with the developers of Sound Shapes, which was a rhythm game. They might be collaborating on a new Parappa the Rapper. So when all those rumours were coming out, it's like, oh, there's going to be announcements by Naughty Dog that was confirmed. There was going to be a new announcement by Naughty Dog, who made the original Crash games. I was like, okay, I'm going to stay up at 4 a.m. I really wish I didn't. It was a complete waste of time. The announcements were new Uncharted by Naughty Dog.
Who cares?
And they didn't even show anything. It was a logo, and it wasn't even a name. It was just Uncharted and like some little bit of a map or something, and that was it. And that was pretty much the only announcement, like the only big announcement, if you can call it that, because I don't really pardon me, care. But yeah, I mean, I did try to play when I first got my PlayStation 3. It came with Uncharted, so I had a go at it, and I did really like the exploration. It's kind of like Tomb Raider in a way, with like climbing around all the old ruins and stuff.
Yeah.
But then when it came to the actual like gunplay, it was a pain in the arse. I couldn't actually beat the first lot. It was just like ridiculous. It was one of them games where all the computer control characters have infinite bullets. You've got none, and you have to sneak up on them, smack them in the back, and grab their gun. Yeah. And then suddenly it's got 6 bullets. It's like. They were shooting me for 5 minutes solid.
Apparently that was all their ammo. Yeah, I think what annoys me the most is people during the Tomb Raider comparison to Uncharted, because like the latest Tomb Raider, everyone's going, oh, it's just like Uncharted.
It's just Uncharted. Uncharted was just like Tomb Raider.
No, exactly. That's what I was saying. Is that I'll tell you what this new Tomb Raider's like. How about that game that came out in 1996 called Tomb Raider? It's a lot like that. You pricks.
To be fair. Except without the slightly weird controls, which like shuffles around, faces down, rotates around, and stuff, and gets stuck on walls.
Well, it's like back in the day when PlayStation, the official PlayStation magazine, or as I call them, fuckwits, they were likening the PS2 Castlevania games to Devil May Cry, calling it a poor man's Devil May Cry. 1, it was more expensive. 2, it was nothing like Devil May Cry, and 3. Castlevania had been out for about 15 years before Devil May Cry.
Well, people were saying the same about Bayonetta, and it's like, yeah, it's the same creator.
Yeah.
It's kind of be slightly like it, but it's better anyway.
Yeah, it's just...
The other announcement, which is actually one of the highlights of that show, because to be honest, it was complete rubbish. It was an hour long, but only about 20 minutes of it was the actual show. The rest of it was adverts for bloody Spike TV. Like boxing adverts and stuff. But yeah, the other really cool announcements, they had Kojima there. That was another one of the rumours, because Kojima was going to be there, and he said, oh, I've got a big surprise. It's like, oh, they're going to announce a new Son of the Enders. But the announcement, that never happened, obviously. But he did have something really cool about it. It was only a short trailer, but they had something about Metal Gear Solid 5 Ground Zeroes, which is like it's kind of, you know, like how with Gran Turismo they do like those prologue versions of them before the full one comes out. That's basically what that's going to be. It's like it's a full price game, but it's not the full game. It's weird.
Yeah, a bit strange.
But anyway, they had this announcement for like this PlayStation exclusive like DLC. No, not DLC, just like a mission. It's called Deja Vu Mission. And I'll show you the trailer. Basically, they've given you there's a mission in the game where you become the original Solid Snake. And I don't just mean the character, I mean the model. Like the original PlayStation 1 blocky character walking around, and all the enemies become like the original ones as well. It's really neat because you've got all this super realistic background, but then you've got these blocky characters with realistic lighting on them, but they're still like So yeah, that was really cool. That was kind of neat. But yeah, I kind of wish I didn't bother getting up for that. I mean, I just went to bed early and then got up at 4, and then as soon as it was finished at 5 I went back to bed. It's like, well, that was a bloody waste of time.
Oh, shit.
No Crash, no Parappa, no Son of the Enders. Why did I bother?
No Crash, those are the Enders, no me.
Bye, I'm going to bed. So yeah.
Yeah, that is a shame.
Yeah.
I was tempted to stay up for it, I'm glad I didn't.
Yeah, really good. I did live tweet the thing on Lucky Hit, but there really wasn't much. What was kind of cool though is there was a guy dressed up as Octodad walking around, so that was neat. Yeah, he had like a full professional costume for it. In fact, all the indie games there had like costumes. There was people dressed up as not Deja. What's it called? Don't Starve. That's like a launch indie game on it. They had costumes for that. They had someone from Contrast and a few other things. It's like that seems to be where are all these cool costume people when we went to Eurogame? I want to hug Octodad.
Yeah. Are you sure you want to hug Octodad? I'm sure there's going to be some calamity involved.
I'm absolutely sure. You ain't gonna
roll around on the floor with him.
That sounds wrong.
In our local game, we've got a PS4 set up, and they've got the demo to Octodad on it.
Is it just that game, or has it got other games
It's got other demos on it, but I can't remember what they are.
Still, it's got was it the same level? Or?
Yeah, it's the same wedding level.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
They showed a new video on their YouTube recently where it was the same mission, but they've added a load of stuff like cutscenes. So they've added some extra cutscenes to it. Like at the start, there's this bit where one of the group, like one of the guys, comes in while he's getting changed. It's like he just sort of walks in and goes looking at him. And it's like, You're not even dressed yet. They did that a lot in the original version as well. There would just be like bits where you turn around and like, you're late for work. Jesus, so dumb.
Because nobody suspects a thing.
I'm really looking forward to that game. It's not actually a launch title for the PS4 though. It's not coming out till next year.
Oh,
I think
really?
it's coming out on
February?
Steam first actually as well.
Surely
It's
the
gonna
jig
be-
would be up on the wedding night for October.
Well, I don't know, maybe he's got an octave penis. Or a human. What? Anyway.
Who knows? I just wonder how he's got kids. I presume they're adopted, or I don't know. Maybe
Well,
she,
maybe a previous
maybe she got
marriage.
divorced and I don't know. Still has a kid. I don't know. Yeah.
Let's not read too much into it.
It's a silly little game like Octodad.
Silly little game. It's the best game on the PS4 so far.
I'm surprised to hear it wasn't the launch title. I thought
Yeah.
all the fuss I've seen, I thought it was a launch.
Yeah. Quite a lot of the games. Well, as I said, quite a few of them got delayed, didn't they? Watch Dogs
Yeah.
shift to next year. Drive Clubs shift to next year. So. Yeah, there's quite a lot of games that are not at the launch. In fact, the launch is actually a bit weak, in my opinion. I mean, the best game they show, Resogun, which was at Eurogamer, that's probably the best launch game.
Yeah.
And if you're on PS Plus, that's free when you first get the PS4. They're doing some really good stuff with I must admit, I've been watching like Giant Bomb's like live streams of like actually looking at the PS4 and that, all the ins and outs of it.
Yeah.
It's really bloody good features. I think the best thing about next gen is going to be the fact that they can live stream out of the box and record and take screenshots just with like a button. Like when they tried out the live streaming themselves, they actually had on Giant Bomb they had 3 PS4s in the same room and they were just switching between the two. One of them was live streaming and the other one was watching it.
Oh, really?
Just testing it all out. But yeah, streaming, you just it's either Twitch or Ustream. And you pretty much just log in like the first time, and then you don't have to log in again, basically.
Yeah.
And then it's just like a couple buttons because it's got the share button on the controller, and then you just press share, and then it comes up with live stream, record, or take a screenshot.
Yeah.
Apparently, if you hold the share button for a second, it just takes the screenshot and saves it to the hard drive. So one of the best things about the Giant Bomb thing was when they were playing it, because they were playing through all the launch titles and they were playing through Madden. And there was this one point where one of the characters in the background changed from white to black.
Oh yeah.
Just like suddenly just went blink, and then because the PS4 records the previous, I think it records everything from the last quarter of an hour, and then it slowly like deletes whatever's beyond that. They went back, captured it, edited it, because you can even edit the clips now on the PS4 on the fly, and then they just uploaded it to Facebook. So I think that's going to be an amazing feature. I mean, it obviously means everyone's going to be live streaming, and you don't even need to buy like PVRs anymore for them systems. But like, because I know the Xbox One's got the same features actually, because I think they announced them first, and then people were like, "Yep, we're doing it as well." So yeah, that's
I do like that idea though, because the amount of times I've said to myself, "God, that was amazing! I wish I was capping that." Now I can
now
go
you can just go back and just grab it. Yeah, exactly.
Now I can masturbate over my own footage.
I think that's kind of going to flood the market.
I wouldn't put it like that, Tom.
I would.
And I just think it's just going to fill YouTube full of like 20-second.
I don't think you can. I don't think you can upload
As
them
opposed to
currently.
20-hour clips of Minecraft.
Currently, you can only share.
Yeah, but Minecraft's on the Xbox 360 anyway.
Yeah, I think they've announced it for both Xbox One and PS4.
There we go. You're not really going to get away from Minecraft, are you?
No.
I personally like the fact that PVRs were a little bit of a sort of a cost barrier. Like,
Yeah.
you were serious about it.
Yeah, in a
you
way.
actually put in the effort because you've had to pay so much money for this. If everybody and their
Now
dog
everyone's
can do it,
doing it. Now,
it's going to be like really
It's
hard
gonna
to
be.
get any good
It's gonna be
footage.
both a blessing and a curse. I think.
I think it's going to be more of a curse. It's going to be a blessing on a personal level and a curse on sort of a...
Trying to make content. Aren't they?
Yeah.
That's why we got to make more original content, like music videos and comedy stuff. That's what we're planning anyway. We've got a lot more like of that kind of stuff on the way.
Absolutely.
Yeah, there was just like loads of nice little touches about the PS4 that sound like it's going to be a really good system. There's still a lot of things they haven't put in yet. There's a lot of stuff they've got to patch in. For example, it can't even play CDs or MP3s yet. They have to patch that in, and yeah, stuff like that. But there was loads of nice little touches about it that seemed like it's eventually going to be a really good system, and in about a year's time when they start getting some good games on it, like Crash Bandicoot by Naughty Dog or someone similar, and Frapper the Rapper, please. Parappa the Rapper was in that trailer as well, like graffitied on the wall.
Ah.
Yeah. So,
Yeah, that's a pretty cool trailer. There's so much to see.
yeah, exactly. So yeah, in about a year's time, I think it'll be a really good system. But at the moment, it's not worth getting because there really isn't many good launch titles. Most of the games are games you can get on other systems, and even stuff like Assassin's Creed 4, it don't look that much different.
No,
it looks more or less the same.
Really
it's just slightly better textures, a bit sharper, more solid frame rate. And some of the exclusives, like we played Knack. That's actually turned out to be quite mediocre, which we kind of anticipated. When we played it, it was like, you just walk around, punch some Shreks. And I watched the whole hour gameplay of it and sort of skipped around. It's like, yep, it doesn't change.
Still punching Shreks.
You're still just punching Shreks. It was kind of boring. So yeah, that game's turned out to be a bit mediocre, but hopefully there'll be some good games in a year's time or so. The consoles are never worth owning from the launch. I mean, Wii U wasn't. Wii U's starting to get good now. Yeah. I mean, Mario 3D World's coming out soon. That's getting really bloody good.
That does look amazing.
That's gonna look amazing. I mean, when they first showed it off, it looked a bit lame, but I don't know. They were only showing early stuff, but now they've revealed. That's another bit of news. Actually, they revealed a load of new Mario 3D World stuff. One of them was if you've got what was it, New Super Luigi U or whatever it's called, it unlocks a version of the original Mario Bros, but with Luigi.
Yeah.
Just Luigi.
Just called Luigi Bros.
I think it's called Luigi. Yeah, it is. It's called Luigi Bros. So who's the other one? Who's the other brother? It's just Luigi and Waluigi. No, I doubt it's Waluigi. They don't seem to use him in anything other than party games. But yeah, and and the other announcement was Rosalina from Mario Galaxy is going to be a playable unlockable as well, so that's really cool. And she's got the spin move that you had in Mario Galaxy. And I must admit, Mario Galaxy is probably my favourite Mario game of all time. So
which one?
Mario Galaxy.
I liked Galaxy. I never played the second one though.
I still haven't got around to playing it properly yet. That's in my backlog, my very big backlog.
I enjoyed Galaxy so much. It's one of the only Mario games I 100% did, got all the stars and then did it all as Luigi.
I didn't quite get that far, but yeah, I did beat the game.
Though. I was obsessed with that.
Yeah, absolutely. Probably, I mean, we're going to get to it probably by the end of the year or something. We'll start talking about our games of the generation.
That's coming up.
Yeah. Generation.
I'm telling you right now, that is a tricky video to do. Hard. It's like the last 7 years.
Unless we just talk about it for a whole podcast or something.
Well, I do want to do it as a video because it's going to be my personal highlights of what I like. Obviously I've been playing a lot. So
everyone says this generation was. A lot of people have been saying this generation was rubbish. Right?
No,
I think it was brilliant.
It's a very special generation, actually.
Thanks to stuff like all the
thinking about it.
I think the fact that there was small downloadable games this gen actually made it so more risk taking was taken. I mean, obviously with the retail games, it's getting more sequel hungry and they're just doing stuff that makes instant money.
Yeah.
But in the case of all the downloadable games, that's what's really made gaming interesting this gen. So much exciting stuff coming out of smaller developers and stuff.
Yeah.
So I mean, Eurogamer put out their top 50, and number 3 on their top 50 of games of the generation was Splunky.
Hey.
Which I knew you'd like that.
Well, that's very high up on my
Mario Galaxy was their top, and I think Demon's Souls was second, or Dark Souls one. Yeah, I still want to play that actually. I know I'm going to be rubbish at it.
It looks good, but I wouldn't say best of the generation, but I'd say it was pretty good. Yeah.
It's one of them games where people get absolutely hooked on.
It's the novelty of it being so bloody hard as well.
I guess, yeah.
That's another selling point for it. People it's a game that will defeat you.
Speaking of downloadable games, DuckTales Remastered, which came out a while back, and I still haven't actually got around to playing it or buying it. But I'm kind of glad I held back now because there's going to be a retail release of it.
Good.
Well, there is in America. I'm not sure what's going on here. Apparently, the PC version's coming out retail here.
Okay.
And every copy comes with a little Scrooge McDuck pin. Apparently it's coming out on Wii U, PS3, and Xbox 360 retail in America for $20. So hopefully, judging by how well Minecraft's been doing retail over here, we might get it as well. So it'll be nice to own an actual box copy of a nice downloadable game. I'd like to see that more often actually. I mean, sometimes you get those bundles, don't you, on one disc. You get several games on one. I think there was one with Trials HD Explosion Man or all
Oh,
that.
yeah.
Stuff like
Yeah.
that. There was one on PS3 that had Flower, Flow, and Journey as well.
Oh,
It's pretty
nice.
cool. Yeah, I might pick that up actually, even though I've already got 2 of those games, or one. No, I've got one of them. I played one of them on PS Plus, I think, or something. But yeah.
Yeah,
it'd be nice to see more retail versions, especially when they've got really nice artwork for the cover.
Yeah, I mean, we've mentioned before about how we want our games to remain physical.
In some fashion,
yeah, the more the better.
Yeah, I'd like to see them make nice manuals again.
Yeah.
They're kind of getting really sloppy with that, or they're just like being cheap, basically. It's even worse in America. The cases, over here, they're just normal cases. In America, they've started doing like these ones that use up less plastic, so they're just full of holes. Like where the disc is, there's just like whole rows. I mean, I've got a Wii game. I've got an American import Wii game. I can show you. It's just full of holes, and it's got like a big hole shaped like a recycling shape inside it. It's like,
what?
If you like spill something on that, it would go through.
Oh my
I
god.
like the 3DS packaging.
Yeah. They've done it on 3DS as well, but they've actually done it a bit nicer on that. It don't look so cheap. It's just got like little squares, like little rounded squares, and on some games they actually put artwork on the back of the sleeve, that's so like little characters appearing out from the holes. So that's actually really cool. They've actually found a creative way of doing it, basically. So that was really neat.
You've got to remember though that Game Boy games came in cardboard boxes, and that's why so many of them don't actually. When you're talking about sort of cheap casing,
I think if they want to do cheap casing, we've got them promo PS3 games and they're in the little CD cases.
Yeah.
If they're not going to bother doing manuals anymore, they should just sell every game in those. Just like little thin CD cases.
All you got to do is a sleeve.
The best thing about them is, it's just a little bit of plastic, isn't it? And a sleeve. They don't have to make these big big Blu-ray boxes or whatever, DVD cases, just for a CD if it hasn't got a manual in it. So just put them in them little cases because they look really nice. The promo games. I'm actually starting to sort of collect promo games after I've got a load at Eurogamer, the Capcom ones. And I just bought Bioshock Infinite on eBay. Actually, it's a promo copy. So.
Excellent.
Yeah, and obviously if they're in them cases, you can fit more on your shelf. That's the most important part.
Yeah, people do sell them, don't they? It says
Don't
I'm
sell
not
your
for resale.
promo copy, Tom.
Yeah.
So
that's all the news I've got. Really. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's not bad. We're gonna have another track and we're gonna come back with what we've been playing.
Who wants this track? Shall it be Stacey?
Yeah.
Yeah, can do.
We are going to play a song from Mother 1 on the NES, which has quite an interesting twist to it. It's like sung by a British teenager back in the 80s.
In the 80s or 90s? When did Earthbound, the first Mother, come out?
Back in 89.
Yeah.
Oh, was it?
Oh, yeah.
I didn't realise it was that old, weren't we? Oh, okay. Yeah, we'll play that then.
I believe the morning sun
Right, we're back.
That was pleasant.
Yeah, it was quite interesting, wasn't it?
Yeah, the song was called Pollyanna, singer by Catherine Warwick, who happens to be British and was a teenager at the time.
So it was a game and a soundtrack that only came out in Japan, but they got a whole English choir and singers. So basically, the Nintendo went up to Catherine Warwick and just said, "You're going to be famous, yeah, in Japan." Yeah.
I think later on she did record a record that was released here called Marine Boy.
Okay.
And then later on, after that, she did a duet with Denise Van Outen, out of all people.
Denise Van Outen? What? I get the feeling this girl probably sings better than Denise Van Outen, but
Probably did.
It's quite odd. Really odd.
It's bizarre, isn't it?
Yeah, there was a whole thread on starmen.net about what happened to that singer.
Oh, okay.
And that was what was in it about the Denise Van Outen and all that.
Alright.
Do you know what the song was?
Oh, I can't
Was it
remember.
like a charity thing or something?
It was
Because Denise Van Outen doesn't generally sing, does she?
it was a very
Or is she?
90s record. I think if you looked it up on YouTube, you'd find it.
Yeah, Catherine Warwick and Denise Van Outen attempting to sing. In
Well,
the
what's
case of Denise Van Outen.
What's Catherine Warwick up to now? You know, I've got a bit morbid curiosity. What did happen to her?
She sung with Denise Van Outen, and then because of Denise Van Outen, she was never heard of again.
Sounds like it.
I don't know.
Yeah, I just find that's really weird.
It's cool. It's different.
Yeah.
I mean, like, obviously, I've watched Stacey play the entirety of the SNES game Earthbound, Mother 2, and that's probably one of the coolest RPGs I've ever seen.
I need
It's
to
really
get back
funky.
to Mother 1, actually. And
Yeah,
Mother
you've been
3.
playing the translated, sort of like cancelled.
Earthbound
translation.
Zero,
Yeah,
that
that's it.
version's called. It was,
I
like a
don't,
prototype.
was it actually official? Or?
It was a prototype.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So I've been playing that
And,
and Mother 3, which has been
And
fantastic.
it had some stuff taken out of it, like there was a crow that smoked a cigarette in the Japanese version,
Oh yeah.
and they took it off in the
There was,
translated
there
version.
was quite a few things.
What did they turn it into? A lollipop? Because they did that.
it just didn't have it on.
Just a crow. Just a crow.
Crows
don't smoke. They don't have anything in their mouths. Except maybe mice, I don't know.
There was a character from La Pucelle who smoked apparently, and they just took it out. And I think they just removed the cigarette entirely, so his sprite sort of still brings his hand up to his mouth.
Oh no.
So he's just going, what? And there's smoke still, so it's just like he's just smoking nothing. As long as the stick's not there. I still remember, like, quite infamously, like One Piece doing that, replacing the cigarettes with like lollipops.
I think some anime took the mick out of all that.
Yeah. Oh, was it good?
That was probably Gintama.
That's the
wasn't
one.
it?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah,
Gintama
yeah.
took the big out.
This ain't a cigarette. It's just it's just a lollipop. I'm just sucking it really fast or something.
It actually is a lollipop.
Yeah.
Sort
Yeah,
of thing.
the dumbest edit in those old the old version of the TV version of One Piece is they replaced guns with like weird hammer contraptions.
What?
Like a weird thing that's got like a hammer on the end with like a hand. If anything, that's probably more violent. I don't know.
No,
Get walloped.
back to my mother. I think I got up to like the third piece of melody last time I played it.
Okay.
And in the game there's like 8 melodies, and you use that to defeat the antagonist Gigas.
Spoilers.
Yeah.
Gigas is like a little
You
alien
spoiled the
thing.
NES game.
Yeah.
You spoiled the NES
Yeah,
game.
I know. I do that.
Rocky
Oh
Cats.
no, not a NES game, not a game that's been out for 20 years. Don't spoil that. You're going to tell her how the Titanic ends as well.
Well,
I'm going to take a wild stab in the
his
dark with
His
Titanic.
appearance in My First Mother was a far cry to how he appeared in Earthbound. He's just like a tiny little white alien.
Spoilers.
in,
Snow White lives.
I haven't played any of the Earthbound's Mother games. I have to get started on that.
Yeah, well, at least there is now a legit way of owning
Yep.
the original one on the Wii U. So,
That's right.
Well, a legit English version that's affordable.
Yeah,
I still think it was a bit of a knob move to put it on just the Wii U Virtual Console,
Yeah.
which has like 10 games on it, as opposed to the
Yeah.
Wii Virtual Console, which has
Or both,
millions of people own Wiis. Yeah, about 500 people own Wii U's.
Yeah, exactly.
It's weird. They
And-
just
Irritating.
used that as a desperate ploy, didn't they?
They certainly did, yeah.
But-
And then you get Mother 3, which was also still a Japan only release.
Oh, the
and
Game Boy.
Oh.
Yeah, it was Game
that
Boy
one was
Advance, yeah.
fan translated.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Again, I didn't play more than like the first chapter on that one.
Yeah, we should go back.
And
into
unlike
that.
Mother 1, I'm not really going to spoil what happens in chapter 1. So.
Yeah,
Well, yeah, on the subject of
playing
games,
video games.
yeah, we're gonna have a chat about what we've been playing lately. I'll kick us off because I've been playing a lot of Assassin's Creed 4.
Yep.
You may have seen we got the review out of that now, and you can probably tell just a little bit that I like that game.
Is it a surprise?
I like it a lot.
It's very nice. Well, just yesterday we discovered something quite funny, like a cheat in it, didn't we? Like
I
an
can't believe I
unlockable-
missed it.
Yeah. If you what were the mission things in it?
The Abstergo
Abstergo
challenges.
challenges.
Yeah,
Yeah.
if you beat 70 of them,
It was
you
80.
can. Oh, 80.
Oh, it is
Yeah.
80, is it?
Okay. If you beat 80 of those, we just found like some stuff about it on Tumblr and then looked up a video and someone uploaded it. It replaces all the enemies with rabbits, as in like raving rabbits from like the Rayman games. But they're not like normal rabbits, they're like on sticks.
Yeah.
They're like scarecrow rabbits, but they do bleed as well when you attack them. It's really strange.
Disturbing.
Yeah,
Very
one for
weird.
one for the Rayman fans that still never got over the fact that Raving Rapids happened.
They exist.
You can take your anger out.
People made such a big stink about the Rabbids Invasion cartoon, for example.
Like existing. How dare they make Rayman Origins and Rayman Legends the best platformers in the series ever and split the rabbits off into some crappy spin-off games that are rubbish? How dare they?
And in the case of Rabbids Invasion, I've only seen one episode of it, and it was kind of mediocre, like the writing, but it's absolutely beautifully animated.
Yeah, it was really nicely done. Yeah, it's a French animation, I think, or collaboration with Canada or
Oh,
somewhere.
I think it's France.
So that's
Okay.
that's hopefully a good sign for that Sonic cartoon next year.
I have been told that the episodes do get better.
Oh, okay, yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah,
back to us.
You
Yeah,
showed me the cheat on Assassin's Creed 4 yesterday.
Yeah.
It was just insane. It looked incredible.
It just looked really weird. The fact that they were like
Scarecrow
they're like
Rabbits.
vaguely animated, weren't they? They were just like
Yeah.
wobbling around.
It was
Shame
great
on
And
fun.
they had like dead eyes.
It was
that
a
didn't
shame
blink.
on that footage. It was taken at the night time, so
Yeah.
it'd be great to see what they look like in the daytime.
Yeah, if you unlock it, show us it in the day or something. That'd be cool.
Yeah.
So, what have been some highlights in that game, like so far?
Assassin's Creed
That
4.
are not too, that are not too spoilerish.
Yeah, that's the tricky thing. I've got to be careful about how I talk about it because without being specific, one of the highlights for me was how they've taken the story forward from 3. I don't want to end the ending. I don't want to end. I don't want to
I
spoil.
don't want to end playing it ever.
Don't want to spoil the ending for 3 either. But what I can say is a pretty sort of big moment in the story happens in 3, and it kind of makes you wonder how they're going to carry on with 4.
Yeah.
But they managed to move it forward in this kind of very quite interesting way, where it's like with the modern day stuff, you're sort of like first person. You come out. You're. It's not like you're a prisoner like you were in the earlier games. It's like they sort of like.
You're sort of hired by them, and from what I
Yeah,
saw.
Abstergo
I
Industries.
saw some footage
who are
of
the
when
Templar.
you're walking around.
That's
and
it. Yeah.
It was a bit meta. It was a bit weird. There's even like stuff where it talks about Ubisoft developing the games.
That's
It was
right,
Really
yeah.
weird. And you go on one of their desks, and it's actually got copies of Assassin's Creed 3.
That's
and
right,
so I was
yeah.
Like, what?
Well, what they've done is
I don't get it.
they've gone in an
But yeah.
interesting direction with it because Abstergo, who are basically run by the Templars, Abstergo Industry, who have been collecting data with the Animus, they've made their own little offshoot called Abstergo Entertainment, where they turn the Animus into a games machine. It looks
I
like the
see.
Oculus Rift as well.
Oh yeah, I think I saw
Yeah.
like, some gameplay.
And you're working for them, going through the real memories, so they can turn them into
So you're
a
playing
game
a game
package.
where you play as
Yeah.
you play a game basically.
Yeah, and basically, yeah, like they're making it into a game package, but because they're owned by Abstergo Industries, the Abstergo Entertainment is like an offshoot of. Obviously, there's ulterior motives why you're actually going in there. Like you're being sort of used. So yeah, interesting story like that.
The ulterior motive is the DRM. Ubisoft, like sneaking Uplay onto everyone.
That's right.
And I've got some stuff to say about Uplay in relation to Rayman Legends, but we'll come back to that.
So I was really interested in the story. The engine is being slowly but surely polished up. It's still very clumsy, really clumsy in places. Still odd things happen, like this great bit where I was standing on a corner high up on the roof, and this guy was running away from me, and he ran past me around the corner, and I did a drop assassination. As I dropped, I kind of started moving around the corner and backwards while I was dropping onto him. Like, it homed in on him, and he just went, the engine just went,
homing attack.
What am I? And he's just doing like these impossible twisting, turny little jumps and things like that. Or
I liked when I came around yours at Halloween when you were playing it, there was like that hacking mini game, and the best way we described it, as I think Phil came up with it, is the best way to describe it was Pong Frogger.
Yeah.
Because it just looked like a combination of the two. You were like avoiding paddles to get to the end.
That's right. It was like a big circular Pong looking ball, and you had to move it. It was Frogger because it had these little red.
I wasn't Simon playing that when he was still here. He was a bit frustrated.
He was. I've played some really nasty versions of that later on, and they get annoying.
Oh really? There's more of them.
Yeah.
Pong Frogger.
So so I suppose without going on too long about it, gameplay wise, it's getting better. Like, engine.
I suspect the next
not tearing itself apart.
They've already announced the next. They've already said there's going to be another one next year.
Wow.
Bloody hell! They should probably try going a year without one for a while.
Exactly. They could
work on one.
Fix the engine up. You know what I mean?
Yeah, especially if they're going to do one that's going to be next gen only next time.
Exactly.
They'll probably want to rebuild it in some way.
Exactly.
The one on PS4 is clearly just the same game, sort of slightly upscale.
It's just going to have all the same glitches and problems, if not
more likely.
So that's what I just want to see now. It's just like we've got the engine has gotten to a point where it's good now. It's really varied, and there's plenty of different ways of doing missions and all this kind of stuff. So all I want to see now is more of the same.
You hear the cat?
He doesn't want to be involved.
He doesn't want to be in the mic.
So what I want to see is more of the same, but just polished even further until we haven't seen. We're not seeing really obvious glitches and messes ups. So I've been playing that. Great fun, really great fun with that. I've been also playing Castlevania Mirror of Fate HD.
Oh, of course, yeah.
Sorry, should I say Castlevania Lords of Shadow Mirror of Fate HD, or as the Xbox like to call it, Losmoth. Losmoth. Castlevania Losmoth HD. Yeah, Losmoth would do. So Losmoth.
That's a good nickname for it now, I think.
Losmoth. I'm not so bothered.
I'm not so bothered. Is that what it's called? I'm not so bothered.
So I missed out on Mirror of Fate because I don't have a 3DS the first time round. So it's really nice to see that it's the 3DS game, the whole package. It's been HD'd up a little bit.
Yeah, they released it on Halloween, didn't they?
They actually released it a couple of days early.
Oh, okay.
I was a bit miffed because I wanted it on time. But so because I never got to play it, it's all I can say about it is the gameplay wise, it works. It's a nice blend of classic side-scrolling Castlevania with this new kind of hacky and slashy stuff. So you got like perfect block, you got different.
But it is like 2D,
like
2.5D one, isn't it?
That's right.
That's as much as I know about it, really.
Yeah. Well, so it plays really nice, like really nice sort of meeting us in the middle sort of thing between new and old. It looks pretty nice. I mean, obviously the thing is, it's although they may have HD'd it up, it still is only a 3DS game. So when you're playing it on like this,
to be fair, Resident Evil Revolutions was also a 3DS game first, and they sort of upscaled that. But
the thing about that is they really overdid that.
Well, made it look
in a good way. But with this one, it is literally just
Where's the demo?
It's just sharpened up a bit, but it still looks good though. It still looks fine, and it's got a lot of that Metroidvania stuff. So there's lots of the areas are pretty straightforward, but there's little nooks and crannies in there and things you have to come back to, and you can make little notes on the map and stuff. So it's really interesting. And it took me about 12 odd hours because I was sort of getting everything and sort of taking my time with it. So that's pretty good. There's a nice length to it because it was a cheap game. It was only a tenner.
So, probably cheaper than the 3DS one is still actually.
Yeah, exactly. That would still be like £30
Maybe.
So I was happy with everything about it really. And another thing is as well, it's a really nice challenge. Like it's really hard in places. It's got a little bit of puzzly sort of stuff to it. So yeah, and it encourages you to do play through it a few more times. So I'd recommend that as well. I've had a good laugh with that as well. So
that's cool.
Yeah, that's what I've been playing: Assassin's Creed and Los Mofford.
Los Mofford.
So what have you been playing?
With me?
Yeah.
Well, thanks to that little ice cap thing, last night I ended up going back to Sonic 3 and Knuckles. I was actually playing it on the original Mega Drive as well, with, like the cartridges. What's really weird is I actually have 3 copies of Sonic 3. I have every region of it. I have the American Genesis one, I've got the Japanese one and the PAL one. And what's really good is because the game saves on the Sonic 3 cartridge, I've actually technically got 3 lots of saves for that many, however many save states they give you. And
quite a few actually.
I don't actually have a complete save on any of them, so I've just started working on one. I just started a new one using the Genesis cartridge. Yeah. And when I was playing it last night for one sitting for several hours, I got from the start all the way to Sandopolis in Sonic Knuckles, and I've got all the emeralds and 3 of the super emeralds so far.
Nice.
As far as I'm concerned, that is still by far and beyond the best Sonic game ever made.
Yeah, that's my favourite.
Easily.
Yeah.
From playing it last night, just excellent.
Easy is my all-time favourite Sonic.
I think
game.
the only levels.
It's in my top 10 games ever made.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't even think there's that many levels I don't really like, except maybe Carnival Night. Yeah. But I never understood why the second act of that is mostly underwater, even though it's everything's made of electric. Surely as soon as he jumps in the water, he'll get electrocuted. I think it would have made more. Wouldn't it have made more sense to have underwater stuff in the ice cap level? But
yeah.
I don't know.
I'm sure it's just to piss you, the player, off.
Yeah, pretty much.
Water annoys Sonic players.
I mean, when you're underwater, there's then bandits that shoot back up and down.
Yeah.
That also have all electric, and you'd think they'd just kill Sonic instantly.
You're talking about things I don't understand.
We're talking about the same series where chemical plant zone exists, and you're just swimming inside weird pink stuff.
You're talking to someone who
Mega
got
Mac.
past
He comes out mutated with 6 arms and yeah.
I never got past Marble Zone, so.
When Sonic 1?
Tom seen me play.
Oh, bless. To be fair, I was actually really struggling on Marble Zone on the Android version because of the controls on the touchscreen. It's not the same, but I did manage to get through it. So yeah, I was playing that all last night, doing really well actually. I managed to get all the Chaos Emeralds by Carnival Night, the first act, so I was just I was actually ending most levels of about 300 rings by that point. It was really good because I was going through all the special stages, staying in that casino one for ages and getting loads of rings. I don't think I got Robotnik once, so it was really good. I'm going to jinx it now. Next time I play it, that'll be the first thing I get.
Yeah.
But
I'll tell you what, I think out of Sonic 3, all the zones, I think Marble Gardens is my favourite.
I really like Marble Garden as well, actually. I actually I think I like Sonic and Knuckles levels more than Sonic 3's.
Yes, definitely.
Both the music and the visuals of them, Lava Reef and what was it? Flying Battery is my all-time favourite. Probably one of my favourite levels in a Sonic game ever.
Yeah,
I absolutely love that. It's
just
one
Sonic
of the most
and Knuckles
fun
was a
levels
really, really polished Sonic sort of, experience.
Well, it was the second half of Sonic 3, wasn't it?
That's right. Yeah,
that was Flying Battery was originally going to be in Sonic 3, but that was the only zone that they apparently did before Sonic and Knuckles levels. But yeah, it's funny. It was people did actually find someone got their hands on prototypes that actually had Sonic 3 and Knuckles combined into one cartridge, but apparently they couldn't afford to put it out like that.
Really?
Yeah. And that's what makes me think about this whole Michael Jackson thing. If he wasn't content with the this is just a what if he wasn't content with the music quality, they should have done a Mega CD version. Can you imagine how many Mega CDs would have shifted if they put out Sonic 3 Complete Edition featuring music by Michael Jackson? Can you imagine?
Yeah.
It would have gone mental. People would have bought Mega CDs just for that. 'Cause Michael Jackson was like mental back then, except for the whole child scandal thing. If that happened in
Is that when that started?
I think that's another reason why that whole deal didn't happen. Like properly.
They want to stay child friendly, not that child friendly though.
Even if he was proven innocent many years later.
What else have I been playing? I've been playing some more Super Famicom stuff because there's this guy at a boot sale we went to this morning that's got loads of like Super Famicom and Famicom cartridges for like
I was thinking of
I bought some I bought some today and I bought some last week, and some of the ones I got last week were some pretty cool ones. I got Area 88, like a Capcom shmup. It's based on a manga, I think. I can't remember what the English name for it was now, actually, but yeah, I think people know what that is. That's like one of them games people will say is one of the best NES games. I haven't played these ones yet. I also got I picked up this Mario one thinking it was Mario and Wario because it's got Mario and Wario on it, but then afterwards I realised it was actually Mario Picross.
Okay.
Like, like that Picross is like it's sort of like Minesweeper, except you've got to make a picture out of them.
Oh right.
So yeah. I should have realised it's not Mario and Wario because I remember seeing the cartridge of that and it's got a picture of Mario with a bucket on his head. Kind of distinctive. What else did I get? Oh yeah, I also got Raiden Densetsu, which is
Legendary Raiden.
Is that what it is?
Densetsu is legendary. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Which is it's a port of Raiden 2, but it's kind of crap. There is actually a Mega Drive version called Raiden Trad or something, but that's apparently a lot better. Like the frame rate on this was really dodgy, and it doesn't help that this cartridge is a bit knackered. It actually crashed a few times and took a while to run. But yeah, it was just like it clearly looked like one of those games that needs blast processing to work. It's not a very good port on the Super Famicom. These other two games which I haven't played yet, I've got Yoshi's Cookie. It's a puzzle game. I was really hoping it was I don't think many people know about this game. There was a game called Yoshi Oven Cookie, like a Japanese only game, and it was like a recipe tutorial game or something, but it was like by some random company licensed out, and it had I remember playing it on an emulator once. It's got you have to look it up because it's got the most wonky off-model Yoshi like sprites you'll ever see. And
Yoshi.
Yeah, it's just so derpy looking. It looks like bad fan art off DeviantArt or something. But like the game you just walk around in like some hub world, go into a house, and then it gives you a tutorial on a recipe for a cake or something. But yeah, I was hoping it was that, but nah. Yoshi's Cookie is quite a cool game as well, so I'm looking forward to giving that a spin. And the only other game I've got here, I can't remember the name of. I think it's like Valkyrie of something.
Valkyrie of something.
Valkyrie or something. It's a Namco series called Valkyrie, and in this one you play. It's supposed to be like it plays like the Monster World games, and you're playing like this little green dude with funny blobby hair. And you're attacking things with a rake because I presume he's a farmer or something. So you're just a farmer going around whacking people with his rake. So I'm looking forward to trying it out tonight, actually. So yeah, other than that's pretty much what I've been playing because I've been quite busy animating over the last week and that. So yeah, that's what I've been playing.
Who's next?
Me?
I used this.
Yeah.
Well, I know what you've been
playing
playing.
Rayman Legends.
Or trying.
Well, it's been about 3 months or so since the game came out.
Blimey, it's been
And,
that long now.
Yeah, and
I remember getting a demo ID a little while ago, yeah.
and by about a month I was done with all the main missions and levels and whatnot. And then the rest of the time I was spending it doing the online challenges.
Yeah, because they have like the daily challenges, don't they, and the weekly challenges.
Yeah, the dailies and the weeklies. But for the past 2 weeks or so, the servers have been like rather rubbish. They keep going down a lot.
Yeah, keep getting funny glitches as well, don't
yeah,
you? Like, you go into,
one of the most notable glitches with that is it sometimes bumps the counter times to about 700 hours.
Yeah, it's like this daily challenge has 700 hours to go.
Oh.
So that's wrong. Or you go in there sometimes and there's no level.
That practically makes it unplayable for the time being until it gets fixed. That's happened at least 3 times on the PS3 version. And I heard people say it happened to them on the Wii U version.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
Like
so it's clearly
some time
Ubisoft
before.
servers that are...
Oh, sorry. You just talk about Ubisoft, server stuff. You just reminded me of while I was doing Assassin's Creed 4.
Oh, okay.
There was a community challenge that's come
Okay.
up, and it's like we had to get 20 million assassinations. Like,
Oh, well,
that-
amongst everyone, yeah.
yeah, that includes just stabbing people or getting double stabbed, that sort of stuff.
Double stab.
Jumping from So I ran around for about an hour.
Is that what a double stab is? Just stab, stab.
Stab them. I'll be stabbing them guards there. And I ran around for about an hour and got about 500 of these because I was just able to go around sort of just get out there before someone notices it, do it again, and it come up with you've done 500 out of the 20 million needed, but within that hour we had about 20% of the overall challenge done, and that is just such a crazy amount of people getting
Running around stabbing.
Remember, it's 20 million. That is not a small
20 million
small
stabs.
number. So yeah, sorry, I just thought I'd mention how impressive that was because the challenge was done within the first day, and I just thought that was incredible. It was only up there for a couple of days, but Jesus Christ,
People like to stab.
Yeah. So sorry, yeah.
If you could watch all the
servers.
stabs happening on live, it would probably end up being the supersonic music. Stab, 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 stab.
Stab.
Have you been playing anything else? I know you got that humble bundle of Worms games.
Oh yes, I did.
Oh nice.
Yeah, that was really good. It was like, what was it, $6?
It was $6
To get all the
minimum
games.
to get the Worms games, but if you chipped in more than 6, you get the Alien Brood games as well.
And
Which,
Worms
to be-
Revolution,
Yeah,
which is like
which
one
to
of the
be
most recent.
honest, I'm trying to give away the Alien Brood games
Gift
to
them to
someone.
someone.
I haven't had anyone buy it yet.
I ended up buying that bundle as well because it came with Worms Armageddon,
Yeah.
the old PlayStation one. Worms Pinball, Worms
Blast.
Blast, which is like a Bust a Move clone.
Yeah,
thing.
that's quite
we
cool.
played that, didn't we?
Yeah,
It was alright. It was a bit weird, but what else was it? Worms Revolution.
Ultimate Mayhem
Yeah, the port of Worms 3D.
and Worms 4. That one.
Was it?
It was Worms 4.
Oh
Then they
yeah.
had the,
Ultimate Mayhem is 3D and 4 in one
yeah,
game.
then
yeah.
like the
So it's technically
3D
2D.
levels.
Yeah.
So it's 2 of them together.
Yeah.
And
Oh, it has Super Frog HD as well, which is annoying because I ended up buying that after the Eurogamer when I got that 50% off voucher.
and it's also got Worms Golf as well.
Oh yeah.
Could there be a golfing game?
That's actually really good. We
It's
played
actually-
that on PS3. That's actually really addictive, that one.
They made a
Yeah,
golfing
it's actually quite
game.
nice.
Yeah, it's quite cool because it's like a 2D golf one, and you.
The funny thing about
it's,
that
it's
is-
like roll. Yeah, they have to use like all the rolling physics. And,
Yeah.
and what's really funny in that is there's all like random civilian worms just sitting around, and as soon as the ball someone just taps them, they die, or they just go oh dear and get their dynamite out and kill themselves and go kamikaze. It's like a ball touched you. It's just going. Oh, that's it. A golf ball touched me. I just got to kill myself.
We did it now. That is
Yeah.
so weird because basically, like with
It's
the
really
with the
good,
wind and everything like that,
Yeah, that's-
Worms is already kind of a golf
Yeah,
game.
exactly. Yeah, they just took all the mechanics of like 2D Worms and
Yeah.
turned it into a golf game. I thought it was really
I
good.
can see the thought process behind that.
And like, it's basic golf. And then later on you get gadgets to manipulate the ball.
Oh, some of them really break it, didn't they? You can just like there's like anti-gravity one where you can just float it up into the sky, and then if you keep turning it on and off, you can just float the ball.
Oh.
And after a while, you get to the point where you're just using the gadgets and just cheating your way through the
Yeah.
levels.
Well, you actually have to use them in order to
On
get
some
more
of
than
them.
once.
Yeah, the only way to get home runs is just to abuse physics.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember playing that back on the PS3. It was
Yeah,
really good.
we
So I'm kind of looking forward to playing that again. Actually,
Hmm.
another deal I got on Steam. Well, it wasn't on Steam. It was on another website, but it was Steam codes. Was the Cave and Hell Yeah for £2.
I really need to.
I haven't played the
quid.
Cave. £2, so it was £1 each. Well, what it
Jesus.
was is you bought the Cave and it was 75% off, so £2, and then about a week later they sent you a code for Hell Yeah as well.
I really want to get on with the Cave. We mentioned it ages ago now, last year's Eurogamer.
I mean, in the case of the Cave and Hell Yeah, the Cave is in my backlog still, but both of those games I've only got on PSN Plus. I don't technically own them, but now I do because I've got the Steam versions.
Excellent. I can't believe you got them for £1 each.
Yeah, I think it was on. What site was it on?
Wasn't Steam powered, was it?
No. It was. I think it was either Green Man Gaming or one of the other ones. Really good, those sites. Some of those websites that sell PC downloads, because they do ridiculous deals sometimes. In fact, I forgot to mention it in the news, but the Humble Bundle guys, they've actually set up a Humble store where it's like reduced like Steam games, and a percentage of it always goes to charity. But they've got like a whole list of PC games, and most of them are like half off and stuff like that.
That's amazing. Check those guys out. Excellent. So you've been playing anything else? Is it?
Well, that's it, isn't it?
Yeah.
We didn't think of anything.
Plenty of stuff.
No, we haven't really been. Oh, I've been too busy. I don't know.
I'd say that's still reasonable. Like quite a good list.
Have you been playing anything?
I played a little bit of Assassin's Creed 4, very little about, and then the last game I played before that was the latest Minecraft update.
Oh, okay.
I've been playing like no games at all.
Oh
dear.
Did you at least play Pong Frogger?
In
Assassin's Creed?
No, I didn't even get up to that bit.
That's the highlight of Assassin's Creed 4, is Pong Frogger. They should just release that as a downloadable game. Pong Frogger.
They basically did do that kind of stuff with the Facebook game though, so...
Did they?
Well, they did, that was more like Kinway's Fleet, wasn't it, you were saying? The Facebook game? Initiates and whatnot. Do you remember the Facebook game?
No. You mean Project Legacy?
Yes.
No, that was... do you know what? I actually, funny enough you should say that, I tried to get on there the other day. I think they've taken it off now. They made the only Facebook game I ever sort of dared to go into was the Assassin's Creed one they made. And it was actually really good. It was Project Legacy. It was all about like doing these little time-based synchronization missions. I went on, I tried to get on there the other day just to, for old time's sake, and it's gone now.
Just
taking
like
it
the,
down.
The same exact thing happened when they released that Rabbids Facebook game that
which
you were
was
playing
also
for a bit.
called Rabbit Invasion.
Funny
That was like a Farmville clone.
Sort of, anyway, yeah.
It's like,
that was in beta for ages, and then they just shut it.
That's what happened with Project Legacy. They never actually fully released it.
So Ubisoft have released 2 Facebook games called something Invasion for so long, and then closed them because they didn't do well enough.
The thing about the closures is the game like sort of locked me out for like several months.
I think he's just interested in garlic sausage in my bag.
No, he just wants to sleep on your clothes probably, or he really loves plastic bags. He'll sleep on them.
When the game blocked me out, I had no explanation why. I tried absolutely everything.
Yeah.
I tried going on other people's computers,
other people were playing them. Yeah.
I tried other browsers.
It worked for me when it wasn't working for you as well. It was really weird. When I tried it worked.
It was all to do with my account and nothing more.
Yeah, it's like they banned you or something.
It wasn't banned. It just kept erroring.
It just acted like it.
It's like the Initiates website that's currently running for Assassin's Creed. I've done loads of stuff on it, and I got my character up from level 1 to level 12 just because I played the earlier games in the series. And it went, you got 100% on this, or 98% on this one, all this sort of stuff. It tallied it all up and went, you're level 12. And the current level cap's like level 14 or something like that. So that's pretty good. I was like, brilliant. And then straight away it went boom down to level 1, and it stayed there since, despite me doing even more stuff.
That was one of the things that happened in the Rabbit Invasion. There were all sorts of bugs.
So Ubisoft just can't make stuff.
They can't make Facebook games.
There was just a whole plethora of glitches that broke the game. And that's probably what caused it to get shut down in the end.
I think that's
like, we give up. We can't do this.
The sort of thing that happened with Project Legacy. Like, it worked, but loads of things didn't work with it. Like,
so they just gave up.
Ubisoft should start a game called Ant Farm if they like making bugs in their games. But seriously.
So, what was the latest update? Wasn't there a big update with Minecraft?
After the horse update? Oh gosh.
Did they finally update the graphics?
Very funny.
There was I swear there was a big update recently, wasn't there?
Yeah, but I've forgotten what they called it.
Ugh.
Update 3,872.5969.
And what's even worse is that I can't remember what was in it, because I remember the one before that had horses, and I was going, yay, horses! But
This week's update, apples.
oh no, the latest
For the horses.
The latest one had
the Apple update was a long time ago.
the last one they had like new. Do you remember they had new biomes? Big clay places.
That's right. Yeah,
clay.
They got some crazy new biomes now. Like the one that's I can't remember what the clay one was called, but yeah, it's like clay can be a bit of a pain to find.
And not only that, it's coloured clay as well, just growing around. Just
racist. Coloured clay.
It's orange clay.
Yeah.
But that was
white, yellow clay.
I don't think they put any. Flowers. They put lots and lots of flowers in this one. It's not called the
Fucking
flowers.
Latest update, flowers.
So basically, the last two updates have been for girls. You got horses and then you got flowers.
Horses. What I love about Minecraft, because I'm into it as well. I'm trying to ignore the fans. Putting me off.
20-hour videos on YouTube of them walking around and beating up trees.
But what I love about the updates is they genuinely make you really excited about fuck all.
Yeah.
It's like, we put coffee! They put coffee in it! All this sort of stuff. It's like, I really love that, because you genuinely do go, oh, can't wait to do that. When they added, like, for me, it was when they actually put pumpkin seeds in the game, so you can make your own pumpkins. I was like, I'm going to grow some bitchin' pumpkins! All that kind of stuff. I just think it's amazing. It's like, you can now chisel the stone.
Oh, stained glass was another thing that was in the most recent.
Stained glass!
Stained glass, yeah. That's brilliant.
I was all excited about when they
It's one of those kind of games where that kind of stuff probably is a big deal, because it means you could do more stuff.
Yeah, more.
Because it's not like a game where it's like we've improved like gameplay mechanics or anything, because they're pretty much going to stay the same.
Well,
but
they do keep on top of bugs along with all their updates
and at least
as well. But.
Yeah, and at least the updates are like the kind of things that don't like change it too much. I mean, have you seen what has happened to Team Fortress 2 over the time? It has become a completely different game now. It's not even what it originally was.
Really?
There was like updates with like robots, magic powers recently. It's
for
pretty much
God's
turned
sakes.
into a complete mess. If you watch stuff of it now, it's just like rainbows and unicorns and robots and
Have they been listening to the fans by any chance?
a bit too much, yes.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, we want rainbows in it. Okay, you can have rainbows in it. I want magic in it, because that would make it completely broken. Yeah, okay, it would do that. And
What if the fans asked for butt sex? Would they put a mod
they
in
probably
for
would,
that?
yeah.
It's already in there
But
somewhere.
someone's hacked it. Someone's Gmodded that, I'm sure. But yeah. So at least with those like Minecraft updates, at least they're not like changing everything about it, like adding something that will completely break the game or anything. In the case of that one,
It makes me wonder how much further they're going to go with Minecraft. Like, they're obviously going to keep going for some time, but it's like, where's it going to end up before it stops?
Who says it's going to stop? It's basically the computer version of Lego, and Lego haven't stopped.
well, they're going to start doing licensed Minecraft. I guess it'll be Marvel Minecraft and Harry Potter Minecraft. They're just going to copy Lego.
Actually, I do have a little bit
or
of an
just
update.
Lego Minecraft.
Yeah.
I do have a little bit of an update, actually. The latest pack for Minecraft that's coming out is a Skyrim, like an official one.
Are they?
Like the texture pack and the character pack.
There was even a Rayman pack for that.
Yeah,
there was
on the
yeah.
360 version.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's what they're doing. Like, they're releasing it in the next few days, I think. I might have a little look at that. It's just like slightly upgraded.
I presume they only do that stuff on the 360 one, because on the PC one, I presume you can just add your own textures.
Yeah,
You can even make your own character, like however you like.
Can you not do that on the 360 one? Or?
No.
Nah, you have to use the preset sort of ones.
Oh, okay.
Right, so that's what we've all been playing. That was quite a lengthy discussion there.
Yeah.
So let's have a track, and then we'll do something else.
We'll have a track and then we'll be back. Everyone.
Sounds like something Duke Nukem will say. Have a track and go back.
Yeah.
so that was Ninja's Dance from Disgaea 2.
Hey, that was really funky.
Disgaea games do have very nice soundtracks.
Yeah, that's one of those series I've never like touched. But yeah, it looks really cool though. It looks like it's one of them games I can imagine would like consume a lot of hundreds of hours.
Yeah.
Yeah, like this granny that was featured on BBC News some time back.
Oh, back in January, I remember now. Yeah.
It's not the same nanny who was on GTA 5 swearing a lot, but it's
For British gas.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, this lady who's in her 80s, she's been playing video games for about 40 years, and in this report she's seen playing games like Disgaea.
Yeah, she had Disgaea 4, I think, or 3.
That's right.
She had what was it? She had like a PlayStation Plus box and Sorcery the Move game. Yeah, talk about as hardcore as you can get. Freaking Disgaea. You can imagine her sitting there playing that Prinny game.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
She's not messing about that one.
It's like, oh, what
I
are
saw her
your favourite games? Oh, my favourite game's Mars Matrix.
Yeah.
I love all the numbers. I've already unlocked everything.
I love that though, because like you saw her, sweet old lady playing away. You think, oh, she must be playing something like, I don't know, something family orientated or something like that. No, fucking Disgaea. And the way she was sitting there going, "We're demons in the netherworld."
That's great.
Fucking brilliant. She was playing Grand Theft Auto 4 as well, which I thought was amazing.
Our generation's going to be all that though, isn't it? It's going to be whole like homes full of people gaming, like working on their backlog, basically. It's like I'll be when I'm in retirement, I'm just like, right, I'm finally gonna play Merry Goatsy 2.
That's amazing. No, that was really cool. Yeah, she was like, what was it, 85?
86.
86, and
Yeah.
she was like cracking away at some great games. That was great to see. It's just it's so nice though, because throughout all of the 90s, video games for me was always just something that was always really treated negatively. It's nice that we live in an age where gaming's finally being accepted.
To an
Yeah, the
extent.
attitude's
To an
always,
extent, yeah.
the attitude's always like, oh, video games, haven't you got something better to do
Yeah.
with your time? Like watch Emmerdale on TV. Oh, I'm sorry.
We'll never completely escape it. Oh, I've got better things to do. What are you doing? Watching EastEnders. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
Biscuits.
Yeah. Doing the
Can
crosswords.
you imagine yourself playing games?
That is
when you're
technically a
80?
game.
Yeah.
Crosswords is technically a game.
Britain's Got Talent.
It's not a video game.
Can you imagine yourself playing games at 80?
Yes.
Yeah.
Something free at 80 and whatnot. And knowing me, I'll probably just be playing Rayman 2 over and over when I'm 80. As if I lived that long.
Oh. Do you mean yourself?
Would dementia be the greatest gift ever to a gamer? Because they'd forgotten they'd played the game. So long as they managed to complete the game.
I've only got 5 games, but I haven't played them yet. Right, Super Mario Brothers again.
This is a brilliant game. I've never played it.
Oh wow, if you hop on this turtle in this corner, you get loads of lives. I didn't even realise that.
And the next day they come back and see you doing it again.
Minus World. Yeah. Yeah, speaking of generations, we've got because like this generation is it's not ending, but like we're going into a new one.
Yeah.
Obviously, there's going to be games coming out on 360 and PS3 for a long time, like a few years. They reckon there's at least 3 years left in.
Wow, really?
Both of them.
That
They reckon.
old?
Yeah, possibly. And because obviously there's games coming out on Wii U as well, and that's about as powerful as a PS3 in that. So games that have been made for Wii U will probably end up on them as well, like Rayman Legends did. But speaking about that, we just want to start discussing what we want from next gen, I suppose. Like already there's like that nice thing about them being able to like live stream off the box, which is a neat
and
little
like
thing.
it's
I
already,
didn't expect that, to be honest.
I mean, it's already being kind of used and proved to be quite good. So
At least from what I've seen of like the PS4 stuff, it seems to be working quite slick.
So we've got that. which as we mentioned earlier, is a good thing, but also could be potentially very dangerous.
Yeah, you're just gonna get every little kid going on there.
Yeah.
Like, if it was obnoxious enough hearing kids on like Call of Duty, now you're gonna actually see them in the corner live streaming.
Yeah.
Well, you don't have to. Obviously, they're not gonna force you to watch the thing, but you're just gonna have to scroll through a list of millions of little brats.
Yeah, it's gonna be hard to find.
Or people sticking their knobs on there or whatever.
Putting their knobs on there.
Yeah, basically, because the thing with like this gen is it's definitely one of them cases where like graphics wise, it's probably the smallest jump.
Yeah,
I mean, obviously, there's like performance improvements and like there's a lot more RAM, so they can fit more. Blah blah blah. But really, as we're getting further in, the leap in visuals and sound and that is not really going to change that much. So now it's more other details that need to improve the games, really, like control and I don't know anything.
I'm already noticing a change that's to do with sort of original ideas involving online interaction. You know what I mean? I'm already seeing things like for instance, like Watch Dogs with the hacking and the jumping into other people's single player experiences and stuff like that. I'm seeing more of that happening in this next gen more than the actual graphics. It's like, do you remember like back in the days with the SNES and the Mega Drive, where it was like, especially with JRPGs back in the SNES era, like it was always like the graphics weren't changing, but it's like the ideas, the innovations behind the games were becoming more interesting. It's like that. It's actually a very good sign.
Yeah, it's like they've gotten to the point now where the graphics aren't the most important thing. It's like, we need to push the graphics even further now. It's getting to the point where they're probably powerful enough to do more or less anything to an extent. Not quite yet, but there's still probably a couple, probably 10 years from now, we'll probably be at a point where they're as good as they can get, you know. But, I remember back when the PlayStation 2 was being announced, Sony was like, oh yes, it'll be able to do graphics as good as Toy Story. It's like, no. We still haven't got graphics as good as Toy Story just yet. Because even though obviously some of the animation in that has aged a little bit, like the human characters in Toy Story, like the technical details of that is just like the lighting and the amount of polygons and stuff.
That's right.
Well, it's not even polygons, it's like ray tracing and stuff. So, like, obviously they're nowhere near that yet. But just thinking about how they could improve. I mean, another obvious thing that's coming about from next gen now is we might actually start getting good virtual reality with like Oculus Rift. And there's apparently rumours that Sony are working on something virtual reality related as an accessory for the PS4, because I think there was a statement recently by Oculus Rift saying the next gen systems ain't ambitious or powerful enough for what they want or something, which is odd considering like it's already on PC and there's loads of like weird little tech demos and stuff that are clearly not that super big. They're just like little funny things.
It's odd.
That's an odd thing to say, really, especially if they've probably said that. They've probably said that because maybe they didn't get in a proper agreement with the systems. Or, I don't know. They're probably just butthurt and they're gonna go all like PC centric and be like bloody. What do they call it? A PC game thing.
Elitism?
Just general elitism, like. I don't know. But,
So,
I
know what you mean though, So,
and I didn't actually mention it. If we were to do one last week, because I almost forgot about it, but it was another little bit of news. You know the whole Cockless Rift joke?
Oh yeah.
That is actually happening.
Oh,
There is
I know you mentioned something.
Yeah. There is actually like someone's actually started making like a hentai game with it, and it's actually got like a cock attachment. That's really, really bad. There's actually a video of a game with the thing on, like. It's so bad.
Hey, so when's
I feel really. That sounds really scary. You've got like a big lump of electronic equipment on your knob. What happens if there's like an electrical fault or something? Is it got to shock your knob?
Shock your knob.
That's what you get for not bothering to try and get a girlfriend or something.
So are they going to bother making like a female sort of like version, if you know what I mean? Like, because that would be a bit easier, wouldn't it? You think?
I don't
know. I don't want to know.
Both versions are
I'm a bit worried about where Japan's going. I think they're going to get to the point where they're just making sex games on the Oculus Rift.
That's all they do.
Yeah, it's no wonder the population's in decline.
Yeah,
what's the
apparently,
thing on
yeah.
the BBC about
Yeah,
that?
we watched that. Yeah. I don't know how accurate all that was. Or
Yeah, the
anything. I think
BBC
they may have.
firmly laid the blame on at the feet of hentai games or something like that. It was just like, oh, really?
No, it's more the fact that you can't be bothered.
They can't be bothered.
Like, not just the blokes, like the women as well. The women are too busy getting jobs and being busy and whatnot. They're too busy, and the blokes are too lazy.
I think that's sort of like the.
Sounds about right, actually.
Yeah.
Women
I think
doing all
that's
the
sort of
work,
like
blokes just sitting on their asses.
I think that's sort of the problem with the mainly patriarchal society in Japan. The men think they don't have to work any harder to get a woman or something like that, and that's the fallout. Suddenly girls are working really hard, they're looking really nice, they're doing it all for themselves. And,
Yeah, exactly.
And what have they got? They've got a guy who wants to date a 16-year-old and he's like 28 or something like that on his little game. In the game I'm 15, but you're not really 15 though.
I like to think I am.
But in reality, you're in prison.
Oh, no, she's not real though. But she is, but she ain't, but she is.
It's not a real game, though, is it?
So yeah, to be honest, though, that whole thing about Japan, I think they're just like ahead of us, and that might slowly happen elsewhere when like that kind of stuff.
I'm sure
goes
it
to
will
a
happen
common-
eventually, but I'm not quite sure to the degree that.
Nah, maybe not quite to that same extent, but I wouldn't be surprised. There are people that never go outside.
There are some people who never should go outside.
Or
That's-
breed.
That's what, yeah. I know a few people that shouldn't actually have any exposure to society.
Buy one of those, then you never.
Yeah. Yeah, to be fair, if they feel they need to play an Oculus Rift game where they're shagging a pony, then maybe they shouldn't procreate anyway. Maybe it's for the best. Maybe the population declining is a good thing, because at least there'll be less idiots.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
Well, this went in a very strange tangent.
Weeding
Yeah.
all the idiots out.
Yeah.
Weeding them out. But
Yeah, but it's not like we're going around killing them or anything else. Like, we're just giving them what they want, and it will be what we want as well.
Everybody happy.
we're
Yeah.
not killing them, they're just killing themselves.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, not ever breeding. I don't know. It's gone weird. I guess I'm just trying to think.
Yeah, I mean, like, so before we went off there,
Into eugenics.
as we do, yeah, it was just we were saying how this, I suppose, just now it's a bit strange calling it current gen, isn't it? Let's
It's
continue
going to
just
be.
stick with the term next gen.
We'll be doing that for the next 5 years.
Yeah.
Because I'm still playing my PS3.
Yeah, exactly. I won't even be
I
able
haven't
to
bought one
afford
yet.
them. Yes, we were just saying how we'd like to see more on the virtual reality side of stuff, which is very much true. Yeah,
It's
well,
interesting, but I'm just not sure how far they can go with it. It's a bit like how they tried to push the whole 3D thing, and they've given up now. There's nothing about 3D on the PS4 at all.
That's
and
true.
Same with the
yeah.
Xbox One. They haven't said anything. They pushed that and pushed it, and now no one cares.
Yeah.
In fact, the PS4 is apparently not even compatible with 3D Blu-rays yet, even though the PS3 is.
Yeah, you're right.
It's like they've
actually.
just. I think it's the movie companies that are starting to drop on that. That's like the third time the 3D fad's come and gone. Like there was once in the 50s, once in the 80s. It happened.
Yep.
For a couple of years,
Yep.
there was a big 80s fad of 3D, and again now. So
Yeah, because I mean,
stop trying.
The problem with 3D is that it never looks convincing. It just looks like you're watching like an embossed movie rather than a 3D one.
Yeah.
Stuff like the Oculus
guess-
Rift is a much safer route to go down.
Yeah, because it's all around you. It's
Yeah.
not like you're watching something. It's like, oh, it's like he's right in front of me, except like only up to the torso, and he's
Yeah.
chopping off.
Precisely. 3D doesn't fool anybody anymore, and I don't bother even going to see 3D films in the cinema. There's no point. It makes my head hurt, and I'm quite aware that I'm in a movie.
It's a shame because I mean I would like to play certain things on 3D. Like I remember that Assassin's Creed's got 3D features, but it has 4. I don't know if it has. I think they might have, like you said, given up.
I think everyone's given up. There's barely anything about it anymore.
Sonic Generations had 3D.
I think like
Super Meat Boy.
That PS4 game. I think Resogun would have really done with it because it's all like that big circle of like, the game, and you can see everything in the background. I think having all that in the Oculus Rift coming towards you. That would be really neat. Stuff that actually benefits the game, like has like head tracking as well. I think that'd be kind of neat. But like, I don't like the idea of like things going to that route because then it's like really. I mean, it's bad enough when people say that you're taking yourself out of real life by playing a game, just staring at a screen. But if you've got that thing, you're literally blocking everything out. It's like, on the screen.
That sounds good to me.
I just want to forget everything.
It's cool that they're bringing in the Oculus Rift and everything else like that, but you'll never be able to disconnect the fact that you're playing a video game because you'll have to use the controller, of course.
Yeah, but then obviously there's a whole case of combining that with like motion, like using your hands and stuff, and eventually it'll get.
Well, you won't be able to.
At Eurogamer, there was actually a setup where they had someone with an Oculus Rift, but then he was on like a treadmill thing, and he was playing Team Fortress 2 with Oculus Rift, and he had like a gun thing in his hand, and he was actually aiming around properly, and he was on a treadmill, so he was like running.
I didn't see that.
Yeah. Yeah, just barely. It just caught that in the corner of my eye at one point. I was like, "What?
Oh my god!"
It's interesting, but I don't think.
It'd be good. I like the idea of them getting to the point where you actually have to like run or something. Cause, I don't know.
I mean,
that'd be good for fitness, wouldn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
It's an interesting idea, but the problem, of course, is that like motion sort of centre things are dangerous enough when you actually know what's in the room around you. Put an Oculus Rift on your head and you better not have any glasses.
I don't know why, but I just had this vision in my head of you sitting in your house and Purdy's going off outside, and you've got the Oculus Rift on, and when you've got it on, the room looks exactly the same, except you look up and you can shoot the ceiling down and she falls down.
It's just therapeutic,
yeah. Just like you just put it on and it looks exactly the same, except you go bang and she falls through the ceiling.
So I mean, I just out of personal preference, I want to see some more of that total immersion stuff.
Yeah. I think what I want to see more of, again, it's probably not going to be until they've really perfected graphics and stuff, but I want to see them get better at animation because like they can add as many little molecules of like texture and hairs and blades of grass as much as they want, but the characters still don't look 100% convincing to me. I mean, like one thing that's improved the most in the last few years was like facial animation. Things like LA Noire and GTA 5 have really sort of improved it, and like some of the next gen games, they do have really impressive like face like animation. Except it still looks a little bit creepy because it still looks like they've put a really detailed face on a basic body. Like animation wise, it looks like it's quite obvious they've just motion kept a face separate from the body.
Right,
it's so obvious they have. It doesn't look very natural to me. I just want to see them get really good at like. I mean, like when you see like animated movies, like 3D ones, stuff like I don't know, Cloudy Chance of Meatballs and stuff like that. Animation's amazing in those. Not in a realistic way, but like in a more cartoon way.
Everything's
they've got smears and like everything's got like really good. I mean, obviously it's completely different making something that's just like exactly what you see on the screen and it only plays that one way to making something that's fully interactive.
That's right. Yeah.
But I really want to see them improving the animation department. I really want to see like not only like them. The games that are trying to be realistic, I want them to actually be realistic and not like just realistic until something goes wrong. Actually, no, I think that's really funny when you see like sports games glitch out. When they get really realistic, it's going to be really creepy because like you could pretend it's a real clip. Like you could film it off screen, it looked like a real clip, and then someone just like breaks and like someone's leg breaks or something. It's like, oh my god, that's real. Oh no, it's not real. That'd be amazing actually.
Turn to some armless giant.
Yeah, like in FIFA.
Oh my god.
Giant armless green guy. Oh, that's amazing. I'll show you the GIF of that. That's brilliant.
I'd love to see games open up to more like different kinds of art styles.
Exactly. That's another thing as well. You were saying before, weren't you? You want to see more like things that look like stop motion and
Yes,
puppets.
like
and
the Neverhood, for example.
yeah.
That was all like pre-rendered.
Yeah, and obviously there's got to be that sort of spiritual sequel
Armor
to
Krog.
that. Yeah, Armor Krog.
Yes.
Again,
yeah,
that's actual clay animation, but I want to see them make 3D graphics that look like that.
Yes.
Like nail it, absolutely
Now
nail
that
it. Have
would
all
be
the
a
fun
challenge.
marks.
Yeah.
Actually has that. I mean, to be fair, the most impressive thing I've seen that's I think technically next gen, even though it's coming out on PS3 and PS4, but the arcade version I presume is on next gen sort of hardware. Was the new Guilty Gear X game.
Oh yeah.
Because it literally looks like 2D until the camera moves, and one thing I really like about it is they've actually kept the animation quite limited. You know, like how anime quite often like doesn't have a lot of frames of animation. It's a little bit choppy, but in a good way.
Yeah.
You know, they only keep what they need to keep. That's what that game's doing. They've really nailed the animation. You know, they hold on things, and it isn't like too smooth. You know, it feels like it looks like 2D animation.
Yeah.
Even though it's not.
That
that was actually
amazing,
running on the Unreal Engine as well. Apparently, like
I haven't seen any more about that though.
there has been some more reveals of like characters and stuff. It's coming out in arcades first.
Oh,
and
right.
It's coming out on PS3 and PS4, I think, like next year sometime.
Excellent.
That's probably when around the time that comes out might be when I might be tempted into a PS4 if there's more games. I don't know.
I can wait at the moment. There's nothing.
I can definitely wait.
Yeah, same.
At least a year.
Yeah.
But I want to see more stuff like that. I want to see them really dare. Now that they can, I mean, fair enough, they can do realistic games, blah, blah, blah. But I want to see them really push, like, I mean, it's starting to happen now. I mean, you've seen it with, like, indie games and stuff like, I don't know, Journey and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Seeing games that look like paintings and stuff.
That's
there was that
right,
one that was coming out on PS4, I forget the name of it, but it looked like... It looked
Child
like,
of Light, is it?
No. Yeah, well, there's that as well, but that's running on the Rayman Legends.
The UV engine.
UV engine, yeah. So yeah, I just want to see them do more, like trying to make games look different, basically.
Yeah,
I want to see more of that. I think we will start to see more creativity once they realise they've hit the peak of what they can pull off.
Yeah.
So that's what
Hopefully we'll stop seeing this just barrage of brown and grey shooters.
Yeah, I think it's starting to shift. I think people are starting to get bored of stuff like Call of Duty. The latest one's actually not doing as well as they normally do.
Good.
I think it is starting to...
Especially with that recycled cutscene.
Oh yeah, the ending in Call of Duty Ghosts is apparently exactly the same as one of the previous ones. They just reskinned it.
Oh my
and
god.
changed some particle effects.
That's like FIFA cheap now.
Yeah, almost.
Yeah.
We might as well just do
Well, it's on the same
Call of
line,
Duty
isn't
Legacy
it?
Edition.
Yeah.
Same game, different guns.
Yeah. That's basically on the same line now. It's the same old shit being pumped out every year with slightly
honestly,
different paint job.
I know the games. I know they're saying games are getting more and more expensive. Blah blah blah. But it's only because you insist on making every little detail so realistic that they have to be expensive. But you don't have to. Make them minimalist. Make them really like unique and there was a game on the PS3 and 360 called El Shaddai. Have you heard of it?
Yes.
Yeah. Even all the character design, all that was really bland. Like the actual art style, and that was really nice. It wasn't a brilliant game, but like all the level design looked like Da Vinci paintings and stuff. Like really surreal, like really freaky stuff.
Have you heard of the bridge that's coming out? It's come out just recently.
No.
Oh, it's amazing! It's black and white. All the levels are like MC Escher paintings.
Oh,
wow, really?
Or drawings,
Oh, wow.
And it's all about flipping the level left to right, and it's to do with physics and puzzles.
I think I may have seen something of that actually. What was it on? Was it Steam?
I think so.
I think
I've just
heard
seen
of
it. It's just appeared on the Xbox for me, so that's why
okay.
I got the
Oh, so it
demo
must
of
have
it.
just come out on Xbox. Yeah.
It's really good. Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah. I think I may have seen it. Or it
Definitely
might be
give that a
something
go. We want to see more of that. And once again, because we're going to wrap this up very soon now, but once again, the answer seems to lie in indie, because that's where the creativity is.
Yeah, that's what I'd like to see. The whole another thing I'd like to see is more. I'd like to see Japan pull their finger out their arse, because this generation they really slacked off.
Yeah,
didn't they? They pretty much just gave everything to Western developers. Like,
exactly.
It was a lot of cases of like, oh yeah, we're making a new Resident Evil or a new Devil May Cry or something, but we're not technically making it. We just got these guys to do it for us.
Yeah,
and a lot of the time, like games that have like really quirky sense of humour, like Silent Hill and that, with like the silly endings and stuff.
Yeah.
That kind of humour only really works when the Japanese does it. I don't know what it is about how they do it. Like games like Deadly. I mean, obviously there's an exception in the game Deadly Premonition. That's supposed to be really good, like weird Japanese.
Yeah.
And it plays itself straight, but it's clearly got a bit of a sense of humour to it.
Yeah.
And I want to see more of that again, because that was always one of my favourite things about like video games back when like most of them were Japanese, is just like their quirky sense of humour.
Yeah.
I want to see more of that again.
Well, yeah, I liked it in the case of things like Silent Hill, where it was, like you say, it took itself seriously all the way through, and then every so often when they do break into this just ridiculous humour, it's just like it's so like come out of nowhere that you are completely just amused by it.
And obviously some of the like outsourced ones are really good. I mean, there was like Double Dragon Neon and stuff. Pretty much anything like
way forward.
Way forward now. I mean, if they are gonna like get people to like revive their old franchises, which I do agree with them doing, if they do it right, they should take them to like indies.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I like the idea of Parappa the Rapper being made by a bunch of indie developers that are good at like making rhythm games. Get a bunch of people that have done indie rhythm games to make a new Parappa the Rapper.
Absolutely.
That'd be amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, like, even if they took Parappa the Rapper in completely new directions and made it more than just pressing buttons and had like more stuff to it, I don't know, that'd be great. I don't even know how they'd go about it, but like, I can imagine it'd be really cool, because the guy that created Parappa the Rapper did do a new game on the Wii. It was like something, I can't remember what it was called, Magical Majestic March or something. It was absolutely terrible. It was like, the Parappa the Rapper guy's making a new game. Yay! It's a game where you just move the remote up and down, and the music sucks, and
just like Wii music, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. It's an absolute disaster. So in that case, if they are going to make a new Parappa the Rapper, don't let him do it. If he's going to make a game like that again.
Oh dear.
I want to see more stuff like Tenuanya Teens, basically.
Oh yeah.
In fact, I just want that on a console. Just put it on Wii U. It would make perfect sense. You got the screen and you put all the buttons on it. Just do it.
Okay.
I want to see more original stuff, basically. I don't want to see them just churn out sequels, but at the same time, I'd like to see them revive some old franchises and do something radical with them, like you were saying earlier about they could do like a new Alex Kidd.
Yeah.
But like...
we were discussing earlier on, before we started the podcast, how I don't see why Sega have just completely given up on Alex Kidd.
I think I can kind of understand why they haven't touched him for ages. Touched him. Because he's dirty. I don't know.
Because he's dirty downstairs.
Yeah.
But no, but I think
even when he was their mascot, they didn't really know what to do with him, because most of the games were really weird. But I think someone else suggested this somewhere else, but I can't remember who it was now. But someone I heard mention, I might have even been on another podcast, but someone said about Alex Kidd in Shinobi World.
Yeah,
I think it'd be really cool if they did another Alex Kidd game where it's him going in other games.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Alex Kidd in a Bayonetta world. Or...
What, with like all his clothes made out of hair and he loses it when he uses attacks?
I don't know what I'm talking about.
Wow.
No, I get what you mean. Yeah.
But no,
Alex Kidd in Assassin's Creed world.
It's like he could work in Phantasy Star, he could work in Streets of Rage.
Yeah.
But the idea I had, I mean, I personally think people would buy it. I know I certainly would. Is if they sort of made a new Alex Kidd game that was somewhere in the middle between Miracle World and Enchanted Castle, so it's got the look
combined them two.
Yeah, or was had, like, a HD version of those two. Yeah,
sort of like Splunky style graphics. Or
yeah, like sort of making it look like a HD version of the Mega Drive, because that's what I liked about Enchanted Castle. I know that it wasn't a big fan favourite, Enchanted Castle. Miracle World was the more popular game. Yeah. But graphically, Enchanted Castle looked great. You know what I mean? Like the graphics was it was great.
Punching cars.
Yeah. I'd like to see another one like that, and
I guess what I want to see is one of my biggest pet hates about this current generation was really lazy HD remakes.
Yeah.
Where they've just like gurgitated the artwork into some vector program.
Oh yeah.
Super Frog HD.
Yeah, like that. Basically, I want to see if they're gonna if they really must remake any random game. I want to see them put some bloody effort into it.
Yeah.
Do something radical with it. Don't just take the original game and upscale it. Actually, you take advantage of the new hardware. Don't just do the same thing again.
Yeah,
with the same mistakes and everything.
So same with like Putty Squad.
Yeah, it's just like it's getting to the point now where they're just remaking things for the sake of it. Like in the case of that one, it's like, hey, remember this? No one, no, just Gagger Man over there. He's the only person that actually cared about that game. But the new version kind of looks a bit lame.
Yeah, I did try.
And to be fair, it's one of those games where it's like, I'm nostalgic for it, but I know it wasn't brilliant.
I did
it's not
try
really worth
Putty Squad on the 3DS, and I didn't think much of it.
Music wasn't the same for a start, but yeah.
Maybe it was a good thing the James Pond Kickstarters failed so miserably.
Especially with the name
Batfish.
Yeah, I get the feeling, especially the company that currently owns James Pond's, they put out that iPhone game, didn't they? Deathly Swallows or Deathly Shallows.
It was a Harry Potter mixtape.
Yeah, obviously. And I was crap, so.
And like, as much as I did like all the James Pond games, I never funded that Kickstarter because I simply did not like the look of it. I did not like how it was presented or.
Yeah.
And Gameware.
I mean, in the case of that Boogerman one, it wasn't a straight the Kickstarter. That's clearly not going to get funded, unfortunately. At least in the case of that, it sounded like they were trying to like take advantage of like. I think they were developing it in Unity, which is quite a good hardware. So, software, whatever you want to call it. And they were trying to make it not so much. They just wanted to make a new game based around the same characters rather than just remaking the old one.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That's kind of what they wanted to do with the James Pond one, but obviously.
Yeah, actually, the way they described the James Pond one kind of just sounded like they were saying it was going to be like a greatest hits of the previous three. So it just sounded like they were going to regurgitate all the same ideas again to me, but. That's what it sounded like anyway, because even some of the tiers, they were saying, "Oh yeah, we'll add all the classic bosses and stuff." It's like, it's just going to be the same bosses again, isn't it? Being HD. It's like,
oh well,
but whatever.
Okay.
This is Gameware for you though. They have a reputation for taking things in the wrong hands, like creatures and whatnot.
Creatures was always rubbish. That's the one thing to take from this. Not everything needs to be remade.
Yeah.
Some things belong in the past.
Well, it's early days at the moment.
Very early days.
But this is a topic that another one in a few now that we'll have to come back to a little way down the line.
I think we're going to end up having a few weeks worth of just talking about the previous gen, what we thought of it, as well as what we kind of want from the next one. I think that's going to be a common subject.
Suppose
because now it's transitioning.
That's what I can say for people now to say what to look forward to, what we're going to be doing over the next few months, really, because we're going to be looking back at the generation. We're going to be looking back a few retrospectives I want to get going, like with things like Grand Theft Auto and stuff like that. We're going to be looking back at this year because we're coming to the end of this one now, and so just look forward to a lot of nostalgic kind of
about this gen. I mean, obviously, everyone sort of slags off what this generation was like, really, but to be honest, I must admit, I think I preferred this generation over the previous one.
I definitely do, this was the seventh generation, isn't it? So
I don't know. I don't even know what you'd class it as, but
I was kind of looking up generations, and I had to say I don't know if I 100% agree with it.
Unless the Dreamcast counts as like the previous generation, like other than the Dreamcast, like PS2, Xbox, GameCube didn't really do much for me. Yeah, like it was all right. There were some really bloody good games, obviously, but I just thought they were a bit too few and far between for me. There wasn't really.
I think the same.
Yeah. I think this generation, because of the downloadable side and because of like the indies, it's really like brought out the creativity in people again.
Absolutely.
Except for Japan, you're being lazy.
Yeah, no, I have to agree. I think this generation's actually been fantastic.
Stop making lolly games. I don't mean Disgaea, I mean lolly. As in
Like
dating
Lolly
sims.
games.
Stop turning shmups into lolly games, for example.
Oh.
That is one of the worst things about this generation. All the shmups that have come out, instead of being like just a spaceship,
Yeah.
they've had to have some bloody
Magical
11-year-old girl
yeah.
with skimpy clothes on a broom or something. It's like, no! I don't want to feel awkward shooting things. I just want to shoot things with spaceships
Yeah.
and helicopters.
I want
and
blazing guitars and silly laser weapons going
Yeah.
pew pew. I don't want.
Yeah, and then making bloody orgasm noises every time I get hit or
Yeah.
whatever. Ugh. I don't want to feel awkward playing a game, basically.
Fantastic. Okay, we're gonna have one more track, and
We're going to come back and just talk about really hip stuff coming up in
Yeah,
general and stuff.
okay.
Yeah. You haven't heard the track yet. Usually yours is first, isn't it?
Yeah.
Usually your priority
Ooh.
to get the first top trump. I don't know.
Okay.
You're doing the Scooby Doo thing again.
Ooh, I'll have to think what my track's gonna be.
Yeah, we'll just sit here and wait for you to think about it, and then
Yeah.
we'll stop the recording.
And we're back. That was a fantastic track from Lemmings. I don't know if it's the actual official name, but on the YouTube video, the song is called 5 Miles If You Love Me.
5 miles and then off a cliff if you love me and blow up and
Blow up.
I think that's pretty enough, because Tom once walked 30 miles to my house.
So, you know, that's
For the
lemons
Xbox.
suck at it.
6 times the love, really.
That's from the Mega Drive version, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, the Mega Drive version, which obviously Mega Drive, one of the greatest sound cards ever. So a lot of soundtracks to old games are so much better on the Mega
If you
Drive.
disagree, we disagree with you.
So
Yeah.
Stick that in your pipe and inhale
And
it.
don't smoke it.
So, yeah, I love the Lemmings soundtrack.
Yeah.
Just,
And what about the second? You played that song from the second one a while back as well.
yeah, I did. Yeah, I want to play a
That
few
was
more tracks from
amazing.
Lemmings to the Tribes. Actually, there's a couple of other tracks. There's a really good Shadow Tribe one that really sounds like something out of Revenge of Shinobi.
It does a little bit. Yeah, I was looking at it the other day. I was trying to find that one that you played on the podcast.
That was
other
the
day.
Caves. Yeah.
Ah.
The other one I want to play is the Egyptian level because that's got it's like but it's a really like silly version of that.
I did have that game once, but Lemmings 2 is really. I think that was the game where they were like, okay, let's just throw everything.
Yep.
That game really wasn't that fun.
They threw too much in it. It was overly complicated. Also,
especially since
it just didn't work properly.
Especially since it didn't say the names of the lemmings, and
Yeah.
each level had different lemmings.
Yeah.
So you didn't actually know what they did half the time. It was like
it just
some of them are really useless. Like,
Yeah.
some of them did nothing. There was like that paint bucket one where it like fills in the floor and that. But sometimes you would just go "Bleh," and it just would like a drop. It's like, oh thanks, you just wasted one. It's like I'll use all 10.
use all 10, you end up with a really useless slight gradient.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, unfortunately, it suffered what a lot of
Lemmings 2 was a
series
weird
do when they just tried to go too far with it.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, it wasn't a great game really, except for some of the soundtrack. And,
There was actually a Lemmings 3 on the Amiga, but I've
I
never
didn't
played
know
that
that.
one. Yeah, I've never played that one. I think they like toned it back down again a bit for that one. I'm not sure,
Good,
but yeah, that was
yeah.
Amiga only. That one, and it's never come out on anything else.
the original and its expansion pack was the best, really.
Did you ever play the PlayStation port? They put Lemmings
No.
in. They put Lemmings and No More Lemmings out in like 2001 on PS1 or something.
I know they did
Oh,
a game
wow.
where like you used a camera and you could be the bridge in the Lemmings.
PlayStation.
Oh, the iToy one. I
yeah.
had that for a short while. I think I may have mentioned it
It
before.
didn't work very well, did it?
No, it was because my room was covered in posters. So like when I tried to play it, the lemmings just flew around spasming and dying basically. As soon as I started, it was like, start level. I was like, oh, okay, they just had a seizure and blew up. Very useful. Yeah, that's the idea. Like they could probably do that again. What's really weird about Lemmings is Sony owns it now because obviously they bought out the company that made it. And
they bought DMA.
No. Oh yeah, DMA made the original ones, but Psygnosis, aka
Oh yes, yeah.
Studio London or Studio Liverpool,
Yeah.
rather. Yeah, and obviously they got shut down, didn't they? Like last year. I guess even though we've gone past it, that was another. When we talk about like the current generation, I guess the one sad part about it is how many companies are shut down.
Yeah.
But we can come back to that.
That's very
Bit of a-
recently though. That is.
Yeah, almost feel like you could make a whole memorial out of all the game companies that shut down this generation. Like
I
Hudson.
still can't.
The worst
believe
one
Hudson,
for me is
yeah.
Hudson.
I still
Yeah.
can't believe Hudson.
That is the worst one.
They were going strong for so long. I mean, you got to remember, Hudson were the guys who were like big players making the.
They didn't.
NES
Well, they didn't go
controllers.
bankrupt and close up. They just got bought out by Konami, and Konami's
Yeah.
done bugger all with them.
But you know what I mean? Like back in their heyday when they were making like the first proper decent NES peripherals, like the rapid
they
fire
used to-
pad and
oh,
all
they
that
were
sort of
good
stuff.
yeah.
Hudson were really on
That's something.
top of the pile.
That's
back in
definitely
the
something
day.
we can come back to another week.
Oh god, yeah, we can go on forever.
Yeah.
So anyway, we're kind of wrapping up really anyway. Oh sorry, actually no, I just remembered one more thing about Lemmings 2 the Tribes that sucked. Was have you ever noticed how the password system doesn't work?
Okay.
Honestly, right, it
Can't
comes.
say on
I've got a couple of them written down where it's like, you know, you finish your session, you sort of play a couple of levels, and you note your password when you quit, and the passwords are huge, like they're like sort of 30 plus characters long.
Yikes.
And you write them all down as carefully as possible. You go to put them in and they will never work.
Jesus.
My passwords have never worked. I must have tried about 4 times before I went, you know what, fuck this. So sorry, we're wrapping up now. So I just thought it might be worth mentioning a few upcoming things as we tend to do.
Yeah, we actually have quite a bit coming up. Actually.
We have a huge list now.
Yeah,
of
I
stuff.
mean, to be fair, last couple of weeks I've been busy on an animation job, and I might have another one coming up. But in between when I'm freelancing, I have been trying to squeeze in stuff. I mean, and we're actually filming something today. I'm not going to say what, but yeah, I've been working on a review.
Oh yeah,
which is quite unique because it's not like a console game; it's an arcade game.
Right, yeah.
But yeah, I will.
But yeah,
I'm
we've
gonna
been busy
try and
on
get
that today. Yeah,
I'll try and get that out in the week if I can. And,
probably needs a bit more sort of stuff though, doesn't it? Like a couple more shots. It all depends really, just because some of it's a bit hard to shoot. Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway, we got a little
that coming up.
thing that we're gonna sort of keep under wraps for now.
Yeah. And the Dreamcast anniversary is coming up, the 15th anniversary since it released in Japan in 1998. It was funny when you think about it. Dreamcast came out like 10 years after the Mega Drive.
Yeah.
When you're talking about generational gaps, 10 years from like 16-bit to 128-bit, it's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
But there's going to be a event in London. There's this place. There's these guys called Reztron that's set up like this. They do like this gaming like sessions at like this bar in London somewhere. I can't remember the place. I haven't written it down. But basically,
these guys have been doing events for a while, and we've been
they did one. They did one for the Mega Drive anniversary, and they did one before that. Just like general, they're definitely very Sega centric. If you look on Twitter, if you put in I think it's the Reztron or Reztron, or alternatively, you can find the guy that runs it called Sega Otaku. And he is proper Sega obsessed, like more so than I am. Like he's one of them guys like, no, I'm not playing Nintendo. No.
Oh right.
He's like, I don't know if it's like part of his like joke, or is a joke, or if he's actually like that. But but he's one of the best things about the offence is like the Mega Drive one, and it's going to be at the next one, the Dreamcast anniversary one, is he's got a Japanese complete Mega Drive setup with the 32X and the Mega CD one, but he's also got the Mega CD karaoke add-on that only came out in Japan with like the microphones and whatever software.
Wow.
Yeah, apparently you can put in CD and Gs and play stuff on it, and they're going to have it again at the Dreamcast one. Last time they had like all 80s music in it and playing karaoke on the Mega CD, and we're definitely going to have to give that a go. Because what it was is Reztron did like a little Twitter contest for like guessing like Dreamcast games that have been all pixelated, and I managed to win us free tickets.
Yeah.
When I say free tickets, I mean the number 3 and they were free, basically. But people don't just think, because
Free tickets.
Free
tickets. Yeah.
Free tickets. Yeah, that makes sense.
Well, yeah, but we're going to cover that.
I mean, to be honest, I wanted to go to it anyway. So
Yeah,
I was planning to go anyway, but the fact that you put, I must admit, I'll probably know a bit too much about the Dreamcast thanks to working on the Dreamcast Junkyard blog and YouTube. So pretty much every box art I put up, even if no one knew them, I was like, yeah, I know what it is. Pick something really niche, or why don't you? Come on. I mean, the one I won with was Ready to Rumble Round 2. And someone did actually say Ready to Rumble, but it's like, no, it's not the first one, it's the second. But the funniest thing is looking at the replies, like every one he put up, was he did a few of them, like almost every time, because the boxes were like blue or something, someone would say Choo Choo Rocket. Yeah, just because it's blue. It's like every time there was someone that just went Choo Choo Rocket. It's like, no, there's no big orange blob in the corner that signifies the cat, so it's clearly not. So yeah, I managed to win us tickets for that, so we're gonna cover that. I'm actually thinking of covering it as a sort of joint lucky hit Dreamcast Junkyard thing, because obviously I run the Dreamcast Junkyard YouTube as well, which, as of last time I checked, has 2,000 subscribers. I've been running.
You could do with that.
Yeah, if all the guys that subscribe to Dreamcast Junkyard want to subscribe to Lucky Hit, that
we've got about 5% of that.
Yeah, mind you, the channel's been up since 2005, so it's a long going channel. But I've managed to get quite a lot of subscribers on it recently. Speaking of which, on the anniversary, this event is going to be on the anniversary, which is the 27th November. So we'll probably be talking about it nearer the time.
Yep.
But that's also when I'll be putting out that Dreamcast Top 100 I've been planning, Top 200 I've been planning. The poll has actually got 1 week left. It ends on the 22nd on Friday. And the poll's still up. So if you haven't voted on Dreamcast games yet, I'll put the link in the description, I suppose. And we're still trying to get votes on there. Luckily, we've had I got to give out a big shout out to PC Wizard for putting out a little video about the top 200 poll, and then he managed to get Adam, what's his name, this other guy on YouTube that does loads of Dreamcast videos, put out a video about it as well. So like the votes have really shot up, because it was really going a bit slow, to be honest. I think we managed to get about almost 500 votes in the last 2 months that it's been on, which isn't anything compared to what I've managed to get on the old. I did a poll like this before in 2009 for the 10th anniversary, and I think we managed to get about 400 votes in the first few days. But luckily, it's almost doubled now thanks to the PC Wizard and that. So yeah, I've got to thank him for putting that out and basically making this chart worth doing.
Excellent.
Because it's like shot up now. So yeah, it's going to be a huge article on the Dreamcast Junkyard blog, and I'm thinking of maybe doing like a quick video of like box arts and stuff coming up, just like count down the list.
Excellent.
And yeah, so when we do that event, I'm not sure how I'm going to go about it yet, but I want to try and I might either upload the same video on both channels or do some kind of cross thing. I don't know how to go about it yet. But basically, yeah, there's going to be some Dreamcast stuff coming up. I actually have a video about the Mega Drive anniversary. Actually, I've got quite a few ideas for videos if I get time to do them. One of them I wanted to do, but that freelance job came up, was doing one about the 25th anniversary of the Mega Drive. It's basically going to be 25 things we love about the Mega Drive. And then I'm thinking of doing another one for Dreamcast, 15 things we love about Dreamcast. I know it's less things, but it's because of the years. Basically.
So yeah, I mean, look forward to that. As I mentioned, we got like looking back on the generation and the year, because we're nearing the end of the year. Retrospectives coming up.
We want to get your the rest of that Skyrim thing out.
Yeah, Skyrim games that kick my ass, because I want to move on to other games as in that series as well now, and that video is holding me back simply because I'm using an editing setup that's a bit awkward. It's a long story.
That's on Windows 8 and it's face. It constantly shows up.
Yeah, it keeps giving me a cocky little smiley while it screws me over. So unfortunately my output has slowed down considerably right now. But yeah, we got a lot of different things coming, and what's really great about it is we got multiple sources. Like we got you, me, we've also got videos from a newcomer, Johnny's coming into the circle to do a few bits. So we got plenty of stuff coming from different people. So that's what I really like. It's good to get to that sort of stage.
Yeah, so we're trying to keep the content quite consistent now, because I noticed it does help us get. We did get quite a few subscribers from the last video, the Assassin's Creed 4 one. So if we can keep it up, basically, we can keep going.
The more subscribers and views we get, the better we can do, really.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
the more worthwhile it becomes. Not that we're ever going to stop.
No, because it's fun anyway. So,
yeah. That's the whole reason we're doing it in the first place. It would just be nice to get people to watch it. It's always a plus, that.
They will. I think once we start getting some of that music video ideas and some of the more comedy stuff out, I think that'll help as well, definitely.
Yeah, long overdue. So,
I think 2014 is going to be a good year for Lucky Hit.
I can see
I think we're going to get a lot of stuff out.
I think this year's been pretty good already, but I think that we can expect a whole lot more from next year. So, unless there's anything else, I think we have covered it.
Yep.
This week. It's good to get one done this week. Apologies for some of our regulars that have wondered what might have happened over the last 2 weeks. Almost 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So we're still going, but slight hiccups have caused people such as Phil to be unavailable for a little while longer. But he will be back.
Yep.
Quite possibly next weekend.
We might have some more different people as well, won't we?
Yes, we're getting a few more people involved. So big thanks for.
I've got lots more artwork for the podcast thumbnails to do, basically.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
So special thanks to our guests. I hope we didn't ramble on too long for you. So I have been Murray Curry.
I've been the Gagger Man.
I've been CherryTerrier.
I'm continuing to be 5cmprince. I don't understand why these people have stopped being.
Throughout the course of the podcast, I will stop being me. So thanks for listening. Go to bed.
Go to bed.
Go eat.
Yeah, I'm going to eat a lot and sleep a lot. That's how I roll. Goodbye.
See you next week, hopefully. Yeah, we definitely will. Yeah, we're gonna try and stick to weeks again. Right. Bye.